Cool. Dude, I don't know this Zoom thing, man. It switches it up on you, the button, like the record buttons at the bottom, but sometimes it doesn't pop up. I just saw these dots. I don't think they were
Oh
even there
yeah.
the one times on some of the paid Zooms I do. The guys that do the paid Zooms, I don't, are you watching every, you had to have fallen off by now, man. There's no way you're watching my stupid ass every day.
Mm, I've been working a lot lately, so I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a bunch, a couple.
But
So
you've seen the paid Zooms, right? Like the people that send in, like to do advertising or whatever. You've seen any of those?
no, 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 not lately.
But you
One that you did, I saw one that you did a long time ago with you together with your wife. That's the one I
Hmm.
saw. That's probably
I never did no, no, it's more recent that I started doing that where I make the offer, which I think is it's funny because people will say it like they said it on because I interviewed Patrick from Iron Bonehead and stuff. And people are like, so yeah, Patrick paid. I'm like, no, dude, I invited him on. But what I offer a service, and it wasn't even my idea. Somebody asked me, like, hey, dude, like, can I do like just a Zoom call with you, like, and pay you $100? Like, I just want to talk to you. I'm like, yeah, I get, and I was like, but when I was like, hell, why not record? Because the way I look at it, dude, is I don't consider myself a content creator. I am the
mhm,
content. Like kind of like
yeah,
what we're doing. You're not like making crap up. You're the content. Just telling what you're doing or just talking about a
yeah,
topic that you have an opinion on, right?
hmm,
So in my mind, if I'm gonna have a conversation, let's just record it and put it on the channel. And they were cool
yeah,
with it. So I just offered it. And I was like, for a band that's starting up or something, or somebody starting up a YouTube, I was like, it's killer advertisement. And everyone that's done it, they're like, oh,
yeah,
dude, I noticed immediate like Bandcamp sales and stuff like literally that day. I was like, yeah, it makes sense if you're just starting
yeah.
up. And now some people they'll rip on me like, why wouldn't you do it for free? I'm like, well, because then everybody would hit me up every day, and I was like, that's all my channel will be with Zoom with a bunch of weirdos, and you wouldn't be questioning that either, Seth, because if you watch if you watch some of them, yikes and gadzooks to some of the guys I got.
Give me some examples then.
You didn't see the Punisher one?
Which one?
The Punisher?
The Punisher. No.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. The Punisher's a classic. It was
Yeah.
this kid, dude. He was telling me he was spilling his guts, dude. Like he's like telling me his whole life history. Like his girlfriend dumped him, and I'm like, God. First off, dude, I was like, there's a 30 minute limit on these. Granted, they've all gone over, and I'm out like 31 minutes. Domino's Pizza. I'm out of here. It's not
Yeah.
that. I don't care if they go a little bit over. But it was like
Yeah.
an hour and a half. My phone was dying, and he's just kept. I was like, dude, I gotta freaking go. I was like, I mean, I wasn't planning for all this. I was like, it was on a weeknight and part of me, I wanted to cut him off too. I was like, oh, dude, they're gonna make fun of you like a mofo in the comments, and they did. but but for his whatever, dude, it got a ton of views.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
part of it because it was like, I mean, they were kind of making fun of him, but it's like it was young, and he was like, oh man, they're gonna, I was like, they're gonna have a field day on this kid.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure gonna look it up tonight, probably.
Like even Ian from Burial, you know the Burial guys, played
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ohio
Of
Death
course.
Fest. Yeah, he loved it too. He's laughing. He's like, dude, when he showed his gloves, he's like, dude, I was laughing my ass off. He's like, that shit was like gold. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. There's some characters out there, and
You got that right.
yeah, and some of them don't mind advertising their weirdness.
Dude, it's funny as I should probably I'm trying to think if I could forward to you. I should be able to because through WhatsApp text. Vincent Crowley texted me the other day, from Asheron and stuff like that. You know Vincent, right? Have you ever met Vincent?
I don't know if we ever met, but they were on the same label back in the day when we were on Full Moon Records with Centurion.
Yeah, yeah. Full
So
Moon did that demo CD originally back then too.
yeah,
I had it.
and
Yeah.
and and what I remember that when we went to Milwaukee, we were accompanied by Jonathan, and he was playing drums at the time. He was also working for Full Moon.
Okay,
I
okay.
can't remember his last name. Cool guy, by the way.
Well,
So
speaking of
yeah,
characters, Vincent texted me just like this week, and I don't know if he was just thinking of it or more news came out. He's like, when you're in the spotlight and you get fans and stuff. So you never know what kind of weirdos you're gonna
yeah,
meet. And he sent me the photo with this guy, and I think he's from the Czech Republic or something. It's a known thing. He he's in the news. He's considered like the most heinous killer in his town or something, but heinous crime or whatever. He killed his wife and his two kids.
Okay.
And but Vincent actually met the guy. He has his photo with them. Like he's like, yeah, that's the guy I met. Like,
Uh-huh.
because I mean, obviously the guy did it years later, and I guess a fan let him
Yeah.
know. He's like, yo, dude, you actually met this guy? Like, yeah, he's known for like one of the most worst crimes in our town. I think it's either Slovakia or Czech Republic, something. And I think
Okay.
there's a video on it. I think because I haven't had time. Vincent sends me every now. Well, a lot of people, as I'm sure you might get, they text me like videos, like even sometimes you do. Hey, bro, check this out. And I get overwhelmed at times because there's all. I was like, oh, I'm
Uh,
trying, and then I get emails, but I try to do, and I haven't watched Vincent's yet. But I did listen to, dude. I did listen to that Putrefied you sent me,
yeah.
the body bits, and my review is, I thought that EP was, I really liked it, and actually I got
Yeah.
to go buy the CD, but the full length, I liked how the EP sounded more better. It sounded more raw, like it sounded like
Yeah.
the album was like more cleared up. But the body
Yeah.
bits, I really dug it.
I think it's pretty cool music. But I think the strong part are the vocals
Hmm,
in the band.
100%. The vocals are totally killer.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's yeah, because yeah, people don't know, but I'm working on something new
Oh, I was
with
going
a
to ask
bunch
you, but
with
it's
a
up to
bunch
you
of
because you.
guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna spill too much about it
Oh, okay,
because
okay,
we're,
okay,
we're
yeah.
really I'm getting in riffs and we're working out ideas. And I think at the beginning of the new year we want to meet up and get together and jam a bit and work out. I think we actually have so much material and riffs that are really clear to me what to do with that. As far as arrangement, drum parts, maybe also vocal patterns. So I kind of see the picture in front of me.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's going to be badass. Pretty
Now, is it
pretty
going to be
sick
like
stuff.
because you've been telling me that? Are you able to say enough as far as like the style of music you're looking to play? Are you able to say that or no?
Oh, the style.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, definitely be catchy, oriented music. So no chunky weep weep, but actual riffs.
Okay.
Aggressive as fuck. And the style, I would say, if you take a blender and you would put Severe Torture and Centurion in the same blender, mix that up with some D side, Prostitute Disfigurement, giving a small hint there.
Nice.
Um,
Right.
yeah, then you might kind of get an idea.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the collaboration between these people is going to be awesome because I think we all have our own strong points, and I think with some stuff, if we use like all the good powers together, we can create something really really good. But yeah, that's always the good spirit you need, and you never know if it's going to be any good until it comes out. Anyone
Oh
might
yeah, of
still
course.
think, oh, it's all right, but not more. But
Yeah.
yeah,
The now, do you have? I can't say. I don't think you even told me. Maybe you don't. Do you have a band name for it yet that you guys are talking?
we have a
Like
working
you,
name, but we need to let that sink in for a while.
oh, so you don't even have a definite yet. You just have idea, maybe.
It's like yeah, it's like a working title for now.
Okay. And
So yeah,
how many members total?
it's gonna be five.
And are you able to say are you doing what are you doing? Drums,
I'm
vocals,
doing
both?
drums. I'm doing drums, but I'm definitely gonna be involved in the vocal patterns and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So like to do that together with the singer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because yeah, like I said before, like when I first picked up Severe Torture, it was when Feasting on Blood would just came out. You were
yeah.
on drums. I'm like, what? I was like, Seth's the drummer? I was like, he's a singer. And then obviously getting to know you and you explain the channels, like I was originally a drummer.
Oh yeah, I played drums longer than I used to
Yeah.
sing because I
Yeah. I didn't
started
know that.
singing when I was like 18 or whatever, and I played
Yeah.
drums since I was born. So
Oh,
yeah,
how did it work out with like, I mean, I think in Europe in general, again, I'm just going by what I hear. I don't like saying stuff that I don't know. One of my pet peeves is when people, we've talked about it, is when people make these claims about countries. And it's
yeah,
like, dude, have you ever been there? And you never like, just shut up. Stop talking like you know. You're just regurgitating what you heard. So what I've heard, it seems like music's more valued in Europe and Scandinavia than is here in the US. So having said that, like you get a drum set, like how young were you? And was that just kind of normal with your family, even though your parents aren't like metalheads or anything, but just music was valued, so they kind of wanted you to play an instrument? Is that how it went down?
Yeah, well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think if I would compare it to the US, at least when I was there and when I've talked to people over there, starting to learn an instrument in Holland is really common. I mean, especially back in the day when there was a lot of these harmony orchestras, especially in the small towns. It was really common that when you were like 8 years old or whatever, you would go study an instrument, if it was a trumpet or a saxophone, and I always wanted to do drums. So, and the first thing you could play in, you could actually just join as an 8-year-old was the marching band. So I did that. But I
Yeah,
also wanted my own drum kit, of course, because that was, you had to wear one of those funny fucking uniforms and march and
yeah,
all that,
yeah,
and shitty music. But at least you could play. And then I was 8 years old. I got my first snare drum. So yeah, that was a common thing. It was normal. My mom played saxophone and my dad was doing acting. So having a hobby is okay. But then if you say like, hey, I want to take this to a serious level, then everybody's going to think you're crazy.
yeah,
And
100%.
the mentality of a lot of people in the US, when I tell them like, hey, I play in a band for, a death metal band for a hobby and I work, and they say, oh, that's so good, man, go for it. And why don't you, try make it a career? Go. And the whole go for it mentality over here, it's like, hey, act normal, get a job first, and don't be too wild, and I taste a little bit more adventure when it comes to Americans, but of course there's also a lot of people who are going to say, if you're going to say like, oh, I'm going to play in a death metal band and tour the world, uh, there's going to be plenty of uncles and aunts saying you're crazy and you better
Yeah,
get a regular job. I think it's the same everywhere, kind of,
it is,
but
dude. The thing is, it's funny you say that. So we had similar mindsets because like our parents were like that, and I hold back. I don't like talking about my parents at all on this channel, mainly for the reason as I have a feeling like my brothers, when they peek in, I think that they feel like I'm beating up on them. Granted, they never said that, but I get the vibe that because, dude, I'm so taken out of context with everybody. I feel like a lot of times I feel like I don't even belong on this planet, man. I think so differently, or maybe I
yeah,
just don't know how to speak because people take me out of context. I'm like, well, that's not what I meant. So I
yeah,
refrain from saying much because I feel like they think I'm beating up on them, but I try to word it as best I can so that my point gets across in the way that I meant it. And I remember at a
yeah.
very, very young age, kind of what you're saying. My parents would watch every now and again and be on the TV, like shows like Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, which you probably don't know what that is over in Holland, but
Oh
it's
yeah, yeah. We have Wheel of Fortune.
oh, okay, cool.
Oh
So
yeah,
that'd be on the TV, and my parents would watch it, or my dad would. And I remember they're kind of, I'm like 7, 8 years old, but for whatever reason, I remember this. And I just asked, I think it was for Jeopardy. The guy made a lot of money or whatever, and my dad knew some of the answers. I'm like, well, Dad, why don't you ever like try to go on and do that?
yeah,
He's like, I can't do that. Like, what do you? I was like, why?
yeah,
Like in my mind, I'm just like, why can't you? Like
yeah,
I didn't understand. I always thought if that's something you like or enjoy, like, did you even try? Did you pick up the phone? Like, I
yeah,
didn't get that. Like, I always felt not that I'm this big time go getter and I'm this star, but just the fact that like me, Eric and Chase even opened this business, and our younger brother Craig, who you never met, like Jim Sadis, rest in peace, from Nunslaughter, we call him the fourth medalist. He
mm,
joined Nunslaughter. He started his band Crucify Mortals, and our parents would, dude. Our dad said to our brother Craig, again, he was the only musician, did guitar, bass, and vocals, wrote all the songs, and he was talking about when he's going to go do shows. Our dad, point blank, Craig, the thing is, you're not that good. And here's the thing: he never even heard him. He just heard him practicing in his bedroom. Dude, you want to hear
yeah,
something crazy? I've told this on the channel. Our dad, keep in mind, our parents are still married. It's not like we got some deadbeat dad or like some junkie fucking that knocked up our mom. No, dude, I
yeah,
have 6 siblings. My parents are still married to this day, like a normal family, right? To
yeah,
this day, Crucified Mortals has like 3 full lengths, a couple 7 inches. Craig was in Nunslaughter for 10 years. He's on the Hex album and shit. Our dad has never even heard any of his records. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. Never heard it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you we busted his balls, what's your opinion on that being a musician? And actually, I'm kind of curious. What are your parents? Do you think that's weird? Because then, like, our dad's like, well, yeah, I don't like that head banging shit. It's like, that's not the point, dude. It's your kid. Like, wouldn't you be kind of curious? Like, let me ask you
Yeah.
point blank, have your parents heard anything you play on? Centurion, Severe
Oh yeah,
Torture,
yeah, yeah, definitely,
Voodoo?
definitely.
Yeah.
And they've heard all the newer stuff as well, and so and they're pretty interested. I mean, my dad actually came to a couple of my shows. So he grabbed one of my shirts and came to one of the shows. So
Yeah.
that was
Our
cool.
parents,
Yeah.
I think our mom went to one nun slaughter show, maybe.
Uh,
Maybe. I think our dad, I'm positive our dad never did.
yeah, my mom kind of has a bad back, so she can't really be at one of those shows. And but it's not like she's not interested, but she's not really into that kind of music. It's too loud for her and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. She enjoys other music, but they're really proud of what I do. I mean, but yeah, in the beginning, of course, there was some struggle, like, especially with the topics and the subjects and um, um, uh, my dad saying like, yeah, but all you're trying to do is to provoke people. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. And for them, that was something new, and I was, I told him like, hey man, this is exactly what you did in the 60s, but, huh? And he
Well, not only
kind of
that, but
knows that, because my dad grew up in the 60s and the 70s. So he went through the same kind of struggles with his parents than I did when I'm young. It's just, yeah, a little bit more brutal. Let's say it
well,
like
let me
that.
ask you this: how old is your dad? He's probably not much older than ours because you got to remember, I'm the
He's
third from the
77.
bottom. How old?
He's 77 now.
Okay, because our dad's 70.
Yeah. My
Okay,
dad is 77 and my mom just turned 76. Yeah.
okay, yeah. So they're less than 10 years old. It's like you're less than 10. Again, dude, I tell the story like when I first met you, I was 16. Not because you looked old or nothing. I just assumed, oh, this is probably a 30, 40-year-old man. I thought that about everyone. And when you do the math, I'm like, oh, this guy's only like you're 48, right?
Yeah. But when I look at the pictures from that time, I'm looking at myself like a 15-year-old man. I'm like, dude, I
Yeah,
look
yeah.
young.
No, when I look at it now, when I do look at the
Yeah.
photo I have with you and all the
Yeah.
severe torture guys, I'm 16 in
Mm.
it. No, I can see it now. I'm like, I was like, they look like they're 25-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, when I look at my old band pictures, man, it's like what a bunch of kiddos, man. But
Yeah.
it's fun, man. It's all good because I know our mindset back then was just like, over the top, brutal, blah, blah, blah. It's sick. It's cool, man. It's fun.
Yeah. And
It's what time does.
you got to do what most people dream to do. Because honestly, dude, when you
Yeah,
ask what most people want to do, they're like, oh, like when I retire, I'm going to just travel the world. Well, you technically, I mean, I don't know, you technically did. I mean, already. Granted, there's places you haven't been, but
yeah,
you've been to more places than if somebody
yeah,
lives to be. If you die tomorrow, and if the
yeah,
average working person, they retire at their 65 or whatever, if they live to be 110 years old, you have been to
yeah.
more places than that person will be in their entire life if they make it to 110.
Yeah, depends. I mean, I've done some tours, but there's also people who are really fanatic travelers and going around the world,
No, no, that they
backpackers,
exist.
seers, and so
Yeah, they
that's
exist. But I'm talking about the
yeah.
average one, the normals.
Yeah, well, the average person over here, they go to the same campsite or hotel every year for 3 weeks, or to some kind of resort in Turkey to do all you can eat buffet and to put their towel on a seat at 6 o'clock in the morning so that they know that they have one of those laying chairs on the swimming pool. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
want to be a bitch like that, Fuck that, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I like to enjoy things,
yeah.
meet people, go see play. But yeah, man, whenever I got the time to do some personal traveling, there's some places in the world I haven't been to, and but I've been lucky so far. I mean, I've been to some places with the band that first of all I've been to for free. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like a free holiday. I mean, you go there, you
yeah.
play, and then there's actually people ask you, "Oh, but do you make a lot of money with that?" I'm like, "Hey, man, I go to a complete different continent. What does it matter what we make?
Yeah,
Everything we even make is a bonus. The fact that we make it in the green is a fucking bonus.
that's what I would see.
And
For example, if somebody wanted to bring me to Australia for any reason, and if it was
yeah,
something I wanted to go to, if it was paid for, I'd be like, that's good enough. If I made money, I'm like,
Hell
that's just
yeah.
a fucking. I was, if I made money, I'm like, whoa, whoa, that's
Yeah.
fucking whipped cream. That's whipped
E-
cream on top of the cupcake.
Yeah, even if the money you make is the money you spend there to eat, so it's a complete free thing. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
that
exactly.
means that with your music, you have been self-supportive on the other side of the world. That's quite
Yeah,
an accomplishment for me personally. And I don't even, and we even made some money in some countries, but yeah, there's also countries where there's not a lot of money. For instance,
mhm,
Mexico, you got to be glad that you have been touring there for 2 weeks and it didn't cost you a dime. And
yeah, of
still when I'm there, I buy souvenirs and I spend some money and come on, man. For me, it's like
course.
a holiday. I don't do this
Yeah, of
for a
course.
profession, so
Yeah, yeah,
I don't need to make money with music. It
yeah.
shouldn't cost too much because I need to pay my bills at home. But yeah, and it already costs a lot. I mean, providing for your instruments, new drum skins, new then it's sticks, then it's cymbals, then it's the rehearsal room, printing T-shirts, making pictures, making artwork, having it made, paying for your website. I mean, there's a lot of costs, already. So you
100%.
either do this,
No, I mean
yeah,
that.
you,
Plus, you come from the time frame. What if younger kids are watching this and they don't get it, which I think a lot of them would. You came from the style where you were playing death metal or brutal death metal, to where the thought of making a living on that was almost unthinkable. It's like, dude, you had like three bands. You had Cannibal Corpse, Morbid Angel, and Deicide, and that was considered
yeah,
lucky.
yeah,
However, I will say
yeah,
this: if you're 22 today and you want to play severe torture style death metal, I do believe it's possible to get it to the point where you can make a living off of it. However,
yeah,
with a very, very good work ethic, and you have to be pushing on social media, you have to have a YouTube, you have to
yeah,
Instagram. You're gonna be working. So it's not just the band
yeah,
shit, but you would have to create it as a brand. As far as with
yeah,
technology and the way things are nowadays, and the popularity of extreme metal music, with the primarily because of social media, it's easier to find. I do believe it's possible, but when people hear that, especially kids, I'm like, but dude, you don't have the work ethic. Again, like
yeah,
me doing these videos every day, I was like, it's work. I was like, no, don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm not saying I'm digging ditches. It's not that kind of work. It's not strenuous work. I'm not up there fixing the roof. I'm like, but it's
yeah,
time consuming, and there's going to be days, and not days here and there. There's going to be many days you don't feel like doing it, but you have
yeah,
to, and that's when
yeah,
discipline comes in. But I believe if you're willing to do it, I think it is possible today. But
yeah,
if you would have asked me like when Feasting on Blood came out, I would say the odds you're making, there's no fucking way. I was like, it's not the music scene as a whole does not have enough
yeah,
fans to do that. But now I'm sure you're seeing it. I mean, dude, metal and death metal is more popular than fucking
yeah,
ever. Now it's good for business wise, me as a label, but as a fan, I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie, it annoys the fuck out of me.
But talking about work ethics, a good example I think is Crisian if it comes to this. I mean,
Oh
when
fuck yeah,
when their
100%.
album came out, it's like some of the most extreme stuff ever. I mean, like constant blast beats with double bass, bomb blast, and the most crazy stuff, satanic artwork, all that kind of stuff. But what they did is they would work and work and work and work and tour and tour and tour, play a couple of hundred shows a year, sleep on concrete floors, sometimes play in front of 2 to 10 people, but they didn't give a fuck. And every day they gave like 200 fucking percent. And to me, that was always like an example of one of the hardest working bands ever, and no
Yeah.
bullshit bands. They never complain, they always play good gigs. Yeah, and see how far they made it, But that could be done only in one way, by working really fucking hard.
But you want to
And
hear something? You want to hear something annoying slash sad, Seth?
uh-huh.
So,
Hold on.
oh, but which by the way, did you see that? Because it's funny you bring up Chrissy, and I'm glad you did, because hopefully this will turn a little controversial, make a good title. If not, well, maybe one of the other topics will. But I'm
Uh-huh.
glad you brought it up because I actually want your take on it. Did you see my? It's the second one I did, but recently I posted Chrissy and live set because they just played here like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I posted on my channel.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, the full set's on there. They play almost the entire Conquerors Armageddon. Uh,
Nice.
yeah, good set. Anyways, the whole set began then. Eric recorded it. I just gave him my phone because he likes doing that shit. I'm like, just record it. I'll put it on the channel. So Eric recorded, so the set's on there. You can watch it. Whatever. Sounds pretty good too. But it was on a Tuesday night. Regardless, you're familiar with the band 200 Stab Wounds, right?
I've seen the logo, but looking at the logo and the band name and the popularity of what they're doing online, I refuse to check them out.
Exactly. Thank you, dude. You're on the same page. Here's the thing: is
Yes.
I actually did listen to them once because it came in the shop, and it's
Yeah.
fine. And they covered Carcass. I think they did Ruptured and Purulent. So I was like, whatever. But it was already getting popular, so I was like, oh, LPs came in. I threw on the turntable at the warehouse. My exact opinion was, this is not bad. I wouldn't shut it off. If a kid heard this as his first death metal band, I could see why he would like it. I was like, but
Mhm.
anyone that's been in a death metal 10 years or more, I was like, I don't see why they would care about this band. There's bands that are a million times better or equally as good. That was my review. But there's them and the other band. I bring them up because they're from here, Ohio, literally the same state, and they're popular. And the other band is Sanguizio Bog, the Nutsack.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. With Devin Swank singing.
Yeah, everybody brings the guy up like he's goddamn Phil Anselmo or a corpse grinder or something. I
No,
was
he's
like,
not, but
no, 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 but I
he's a
don't know the
nice
guy's
kid.
name. No, okay, he might be. That's what people are saying. That
No,
people even ask me.
I know his name because I've seen him on Facebook a lot of times. So that's when you start remembering some names. And
Oh,
then they
okay.
played a show at, I think it was in 013, could also be in Hall of Fame, one of both. No, it was in 013. And I met him there at the bar. And then I was there with Patrick, and I don't know who else was there. Maybe Thijs was also there from Severe,
Mhm.
and he was there. So we met him, and he was like, "Oh, Severe Torture guys," and he totally
Everybody
liked.
says he's cool as hell, and they say he's a huge Mortician fan. Because some people say like, dude, one guy in my comments is like, "Why do you hate Devin?" And he's mentioned my name. I'm like, first off, who? And second off, and then when I get told, I'm like, what do you mean I hate Devin? I was like, I never met him. I was like, I don't know him. I was like, just because I bust his band's balls, I was like, that's a compliment. I was like, because he's a benchmark of today's death metal bands. They're one of the popular ones. So I use him as
Yeah,
a benchmark to kind of make fun of. I was like, if I met him, I was like, we might be best friends. I don't know. I never met the motherfucker. But anyways, those two bands, they're kind of like the big popular bands, right?
yeah,
From this area. If they were to play a Tuesday night, because I'm emphasizing because I know someone's going to come in defense and be like, "Oh, it was a Tuesday." I guarantee you, it'd be full fucking house, shoulder to shoulder, right?
yeah.
I'm at that Christian show, dude. There's like 30 people there.
Really?
Yeah, that's fucking bull. That's what I'm saying. That's why. And somebody commented on that on the video, and like, dude, it's kind of
Yeah,
sad. It doesn't look like a very big crowd there. I'm like, exactly. I was like, and you guys wonder why I call out posers and shit in the scene. I'm like, who the fuck listens to 200 wimp wounds over a goddamn Christian? I was like, that doesn't even
yeah.
make sense.
It kind of well, it kind of makes sense, but it depends on the person, and especially the younger audience. You know, they don't like the old fashioned dusty death metal that we listen to because yeah, I
Because
call
it
it
ain't dusty,
dusty.
it still holds up.
Yeah, well, it's to me it still holds up, and the same goes for me with movies. I don't like, or well, sometimes I even do. I like overproduced movies with all the special effects and all that kind of bullshit. But I
Mhm.
also like the old dusty ones, like the first Exorcist, that have that old feel and that
Sure.
old glance and the analog feel, you know. And that's the same with music, you know, because like you say, like how can you like this band over that band? But if you listen to that Sanguis Sugarbark band, it's really well fat produced slam death metal. It takes out all the good elements of that scene. It's like you got in the whole slam scene, there's probably 200 bands. The best one is Devourment, and then
Yeah.
comes Sanguis Sugarbark. It's like the Century Media version of Devourment.
I would have to agree with that. Yeah, because when I
Of
heard
course,
that,
the young
dude,
kids are gonna like that. Yeah,
it got talked about because I somebody handed me their demo. And
yeah,
I'm not saying the bog asked us. It's just somebody handed me their demo and they say, hey, these guys from Ohio, maybe you
yeah,
should think about signing them. I
yeah,
listened to it. I just thought, yeah, it's okay. I was like, the name's gay as hell. I was like, I don't know what that means. I can't pronounce it. And that was
yeah,
it. And then they blew up. And then I was like, huh, all right. I was like, as far as business, probably should have signed them. I was like, but I didn't think anything of it. And that was on their demo. But I didn't
yeah.
think it sucked either. I just thought it was fine. I was like, oh, whatever.
Well, you know, the thing is, there's a lot. I think the music is not. It's not brilliant. I think there's a lot of well. Don't take it in a bad way, but there's a lot of mediocre stuff out there that is
Yeah,
okay, but
yeah.
not more than okay. And a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff is doing extremely well. There's this Belgian band called Carnage that's doing extremely well. There's a Danish band called Beast or Beast with AE that's on every fucking festival here. And I've seen him play. I was bored as hell. There was no riff that stuck here. Like, you play any Morbid Angel riff off the first four records, any riff is better than anything they ever recorded.
Oh,
Still,
1,000%.
that band is doing fine. And why? Because the band name, the artwork, the sound, the match, the fact that they put out albums like pretty much every other year or every year, they're on a good label, they are willing to tour, they are willing to take shitty positions on tours and on festivals. Hey, you're gold for a label. They can. And then if it looks okay, then you're doing fine. And I get irritated with it sometimes because I think there's way better music out there that gets way less attention.
Oh yeah,
Um,
1,000%.
yeah, or I would like to see a band like Aberration be on a big label like Century Media, and then see how
Mhm.
people react to that. Or
Yeah,
uh, 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 like Perdition Temple or Malefic Throne. By the way, I got that in this week.
the Malefic Throne of Perdition Temple.
No, not the Perdition Temple yet, because all the European labels are on a holiday now, I should say.
They love their long holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got those in
Oh,
too.
they got
Yeah,
that one. Oh man, yeah, this is good. And you know what the fun
yeah, it
thing
is.
is? I've played it on YouTube and to check it out, of course. And
Mhm.
YouTube and all the digital formats, they take off a lot of data, so you can put the song on there. It's a CD, a WAV file is like way more MB than whatever's on the internet. So the first times I checked it out, it sounded okay to me. Like I say, a little dusty. Um, and there was so much data leaked of it that to me the vocals sounded kind of off every now and then, because there's not every frequency is as clear as on the actual CD. And sometimes the difference between a YouTube stream and the actual CD is not that big, but in this case, holy fucking shit. I put the CD in. I didn't even put it on a super loud volume. Man, this is definitely the release of the year, together with the Perdition Temple. But I haven't played that CD yet, so I'm
Like
kind
it's
of
funny
hoping for.
because the Perdition Temple, like it's funny because like I like Perdition Temple, but I'm not a super fan just because I'm a super fan Angel Corpse fan, and I
Mhm.
always say like I like Angel Corpse more, but I'll say but I like every Perdition. But I
But the
think
new
this new
one,
I think the new one's the best one.
oh, definitely. I think the
Yeah,
new one actually kind of goes towards that level if it
yeah.
comes to the catchiness and the song structures and all that kind of stuff.
I do think
But
it's
it
the
shouldn't
best
be.
one,
I,
and
I don't think it.
I think a lot of people think that, dude, because
Yeah,
obviously, as you know, we put out the CD and LP, and it's selling really well. A lot of people are picking it
yeah.
up, and they respond like, "Holy shit, this album is awesome!" And I was surprised that it was the best one too, because it's I don't know, you probably agree for the most part. Most bands get worse, even if they still put out a pretty good album, it's usually not as good as the earlier stuff.
It's usually, well, sometimes it's better than the earlier stuff, but not as how do you say that, epic, or because when you first
Yeah,
you
that's true.
know
Yeah, yeah,
if you listen to a band like Nile, I mean, the first album to me is pure gold, but I was so blown away the first time I heard that. It was so new and it was so fresh,
yeah.
and it was really catchy. Yeah, if you get Annihilation for the Wicked, which I think technically might even be a better album, but do I like it more? No, I like the first
I know.
one more.
It's better musicianship and what they're doing.
Definitely.
Their craft is better. But do you enjoy the songs more? No. And I'm the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it depends, when did you meet the band or when did you get into it them,
Yeah.
and same for me with Death. I mean, I started listening to Death. The first album I heard was Spiritual Healing, and I
Okay.
still like that one more than Scream Bloody Gore. To me,
Oh, really? Wow.
Scream
Okay.
Bloody, yeah, and but that's because I met that album. That was the first one, and I
Yeah.
played it. Man, I must have played that record over 150 times before I ever heard another Death record.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. That makes sense. Just like,
and
for
then
example,
it's
like
it.
one of my favorite cannibals, if not my favorite cannibal, but I always say it's Tune the Mutilated, is possibly
Yeah,
Vile because that's the record that we first heard as kid is death metal. was Cannibal
Yeah,
Corpse Vile. I remember,
yeah,
like, dude, Eric went out and bought it. So I would have been 12 years old. Eric would have been like 15, and Chase would have been like 14. And Eric was playing it, and Chase came into my room because they shared a room, and me and Craig shared a room. And Chase comes in and comes gets me. He's like, dude, you got to hear this. He's like, you can't even understand what the guy's saying. And instantly we loved it, dude. Like we didn't know like what kind of music this was, or like just, but
yeah,
we just like, this is fucking awesome.
yeah, yeah. And the same thing with, for example, with Deeds of Flesh. I mean, my
Mhm.
favorite record is still Trading Pieces.
Say, that's the first one I picked up too.
The first one I picked up, the first time I heard it, I remember the moment because I read a review in Art Show magazine and they got like 6 out of 10 points, like really fucking terrible.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, there's
I thought
some
everybody
overly.
liked that when I thought everybody loved Deeds Back kind of like when they came
Well,
out.
yeah, the underground did, but the major
Oh, yeah, okay,
magazines,
yeah,
they
yeah, yeah,
didn't,
okay.
and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
So, but then I was at a metal market or somewhere, and that album was they had it for sale for like, let's say, 5 guilders, really fucking cheap. That's like maybe $3. So I picked it up because I love the fucking artwork. That was
Hey,
just sick,
artwork's awesome.
sick,
Yep.
sick.
Yep.
And then I played at home because there was no internet, so you couldn't check it out. So I had no idea what I was about to hear. And then you hear that first intro, and then Carnivorous Ways,
Going in
and
his ways,
you
dude. About
go
Albert
into
Fish,
the
it's about
album,
Albert Fish, dude. And
man. And I was fucking sold. I remember calling up Patrick, dude. You got that Trading Pieces? Well, yeah. Did you play that already? No, do it now, bro. This is the sickest stuff you ever heard.
dude,
And
it's funny you say that because depending on what these
mm,
idiots consider brutal death metal, what they don't, because they say like Cannibal Corpse is not brutal death metal. I'm like, I don't know, Butchered at Birth and Tomb of the Mutilated kind of are at the very least, but whatever.
yeah,
So I don't know. I was like, it depends what you consider brutal death and whatnot.
yeah,
Deeds of Flesh Trading Pieces is one of the greatest, if not the greatest, brutal death metal album of all time. Again, depends what you consider brutal death and whatnot. Obviously, people consider that. But I
yeah,
always thought Trading Pieces, yeah, greatest brutal death metal up there. I mean, the song Born Then Torn Apart. I remember as a kid, probably around maybe even, I might have been even younger than when I met you. I remember talking to
mm,
Eric about that song. Wrote, I'm like, oh, dude, like, what's that song about? Like, obviously, like killing his own babies, like that, because I knew they sung about serial killers. I was like, that's a real
yeah,
story. He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, I read about. I think he said he read about in the paper or something. He's like, dude, some chick, she was just so fucking high on drugs that she killed her own baby. He's like, yeah, it's fucked
yeah,
up. It's like, so he's like, I had to write a song about that. I was like, yeah. I was
yeah,
like, it's the lyrics. I was like, I knew you guys sing about real shit. I was like, but that's fucking fucked up.
yeah, yeah. And back then, when that album came out, I mean, for me, because now everyone is like, yeah, the brutal death metal, the gold records are Trading Pieces, and of course, Devourment, Molest, and the Decapitated, which I think is really a landmark in that slam era.
I agree.
Really
Some
good
people like
album.
to hate. People like to hate on it now to look cool. I'm like, dude, that record is really good. Molesting the
Oh, that
Decapitated.
record is
It
catchy as fuck.
100%
And
exactly. I know.
yeah, and then the first Disgorge made an impact. But for me, two other records that people seem to forget about because they're not really considered that underground brutal death metal scene, but they were definitely were back then, was when Non So Vile came out from Cryptopsy. That was like,
Oh, dude,
holy
that's
fucking
dude.
shit.
The first two cryptopsies. I said it and I
Yeah.
meant it. Those are the best two albums to ever come out of Canada. The entire country
Yeah,
of
and the
Canada.
first and the first two Dying Fetuses, and
Amazing.
yeah,
Infatuation with
fucking
Metalist, Purification. So, do you consider Infatuation with Metalist an album, or are you
yeah,
talking
that's
about
the first
Purification?
one. That's the
Okay,
first one,
then,
I guess, and then Purification, the second one. I mean, damn, dude. That
dude, it's like,
that's
do you realize there's some newer people that rip on me because they're like Dying Fetus? That's kind of like slammy wigger hardcore death. I was like, dude, at the very least, even if you don't like Dying, because I like everything by them. I was
oh,
like, you
they
never
always
listen to
had a
Pure. I was like, you never listen to Purification and shit. I was like, there's no way if you like brutal death metal that you would not like those. I was like, those are some of the best albums
yeah.
ever written.
Yeah, and Purification, all these albums, they always had groove,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Once you have groove, they're gonna call you wiggers or hardcore or whatever,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
mean, Internal Bleeding also has groove, and yeah, what I know is that one of these guys always been into the hardcore music. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, no,
I
I'm
mean,
known again. I'm known for ripping on internal bleeding. I was like, yeah, but it's all in good fun. I was like, you do realize I did an interview with the entire band at Milwaukee
yeah,
Metal Fest on my channel. The reason that happened is because I was always calling them out and making fun of them, and they approached me
yeah,
and we talked. And we all had a good time, and then we did a interview, and The guy I call him, I forget him. He's the young kid. He had a corn shirt, so I had a field day on him on
Yeah,
past
yeah, yeah.
videos. I call him Corn Boy. And then he was at Maryland Death. He was at the following Maryland Death Fest. He came up to me, said hi. Him and his girlfriend came up and talked to me. He's a really nice kid. I was like, yeah, he likes terrible music. Corn's like, Corn, dude. I mean, it's like, dude, you got the gayest shirt on in the building. If somebody comes in with a Limp Bizkit shirt, you have the second gayest shirt on the building. But I was like, he was a nice guy, and what I was, some of these guys, dude, with my channel, dude, fuck, I should forward you some of this shit, Seth. You would laugh your fucking ass off. Like I get hate mail out the ass and messages because people take my shit so serious and they get offended. And I
Yeah.
was like, dude, Corn Boy had more balls than any of you fucking pussies. And these are the people contacting me. They're supposed to be the ones that are into true death metal, true black metal. I was like, but you're the ones getting offended like little girls. I was like, at least Corn Boy, he approached me like a man. He sat down, have a conversation, and we've been cool ever since. I was like, he's more
Yeah.
of a man than you guys are. Like, what are you talking about?
Course, and the cool thing is, internal bleeding, they've been doing this for how long? What's
Well,
it,
Chris is the only original member. Yeah, he's been doing it
oh,
forever.
like 35 years already or whatever,
Yeah.
since the beginning of the 90s.
Think it's 90.
And
I think 92 is the first release. I think
yeah,
92 is the 7 inch, I think. I think
yeah, and
so. The
they've
demo 7 inch, I think, is 92.
always been doing their own thing, and they don't give a fuck about what everyone says. He just does what he enjoys. Hey,
Yeah.
fucking, that's it, man. That's what you should do. And of course, you're gonna get shit. Yeah, well, yeah, probably.
100%.
And I mean, if people call that wigger shit, I wonder how they call cranium.
Well, dude, what do you actually, what, because you're older than me. People call, because when I call it the slam stuff, they throw suffocation in that camp. And I was like, dude, back in the day, I was like, I could be wrong because I was still a kid. I was like, but I promise you, dude, when albums like Human Waste came out, Effigy of the Forgotten, nobody was like, this is slam death metal. They
No,
just called
but
it death metal.
what I do think is that a lot of the early slam bands or like Devourment and all that kind of bands, I think they took the slow suffocation riff as
Thousand
a big
percent.
influence for their
Yeah,
music.
I do agree
So
with that. Yes.
I see why people would say that, but of course they were never thinking about we're creating slam. I mean, in the beginning, all these bands weren't even thinking about the term death metal because that was new, you know?
Yeah. 100%. That's what they
So
say. Some that say, yeah.
yeah,
Just
these
like when I call
most of these
Repulsion
bands started in
Horrified.
the late 80s.
Yeah,
So
when I call Repulsion Horrified grindcore, and people that were there back then, like, well, dude, they just called it a death metal album. Like they grindcore, like nobody even knew what that. No one was using that term.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, all
there's a
right,
lot
well,
of bands
I was
that
1 years
people have
old. I don't fucking
doubts.
know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who have doubts, like what is this? Like a Dutch
Yeah,
band Thanatos. Is that thrash metal? Is it death metal, or is it death thrash? Or
right. Well, just like, are you a Cryptic Slaughter fan?
I'm not even familiar with that band,
Oh,
to be
dude,
honest.
you got to listen to the first two records. I like the third one too. The first two records, Convicted and Money Talks, phenomenal. Fast as shit,
Uh-huh.
aggressive as hell. But dude, literally, if
Yeah,
someone asked me what kind of music is Cryptic Slaughter, I'm like thrash, grind, cross.
yeah,
I don't. I was like, I don't know. I was like, literally, I don't know. I was like, just aggressive as fuck, goddamn music that's killer as shit.
yeah. Yeah, and to
Yeah,
me, it really doesn't matter how it's called. The same goes, that's also such a bullshit term, melodic death metal. Because when we speak about melodic death metal, we're talking about the Scandinavian, really,
yeah,
happy sounding, like, so Death doesn't have melody. Cannibal Corpse doesn't have melody. There's melody
very
in pretty
true.
much everything. D side has a lot of melody. Listen to Ralph Santola's solos. If that's
Yeah.
not
Well, that's
melodic death
later.
metal, I don't know what
Some
is,
people would argue that's later though. They're like, well, not the earlier
Yeah.
albums. That's
But
what they.
it's people use these terms as some kind of common language, and they hope everyone agrees on it, so it's easier to explain what they mean. Like what kind of band is? Oh yeah, it's like melodic death metal, but so you get a picture like, oh, it's Black Dahlia Murder kind of stuff, or it's this, or it's that, or yeah, it's brutal death metal. So you're not gonna start thinking about Old Man's Child, but you're gonna start thinking about Deeds of Flesh or whatever. But then you get misinterpretations, and
Yeah.
people have expectations of what they're about to hear, and then they don't get them, and then they're disappointed. Hey, but this is not brutal. This is not blah blah blah. Who the fuck cares, man? Check it out and see for yourself what you think of it. That's the
Yeah.
only solution to all that crap. and,
Hey Seth,
and yeah.
show the camera something. Keep them busy. I got to go let someone in real quick, and I got to take a piss. So
Oh,
maybe show them an album, talk about the Malefic Throne or something you got in. Give them keep them talking.
I'll keep them talking. Is it a number one or a number two?
Oh, number one, but I got to let someone in.
I just want to know how much time I have.
Oh yeah, Dumb, was that Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, no, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's Jim
Well,
Carrey. No, oh no, Ace Ventura.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
Ace Ventura. So, well, yeah, another one that I got in this week, and I needed to get this for a while longer, is the latest Rebellion. I hope you can see it like this. Yeah, probably. It's called Under the Sign of Rebellion, and this is the last one with Lohi as a singer. And unfortunately, he also passed away, just like Fabiano Penna, and both are good friends of mine. And I picked this up from Agonia Records together with the Malefic Throne, and badass album. Even without Fabiano on guitars, which was who was in my opinion, kind of a mastermind when it comes to riffs. This has some really strong riffing and songwriting on it, and it's a sick, sick album. So yeah, if you want to pick up something brutal from last year, pick up the latest Rebellion. And then what else do we have here to keep you guys talking a bit? I've showed this the last time. Aberration. You can get this from Invictus Productions in Ireland, but probably somewhere in the US. This band comes from Norway, and if you're into old school, first two albums, Morbid Angel, first couple of Angel Corpses, all that kind of stuff, pick this up. Really badass. What else do we have? Because we got some new stuff here, probably. Don't need to show you these. What the hell is this? Oh, yeah. This is a nice one. Pyrexia. Have you seen
Speaking
this
of
one,
showing shit,
Justin?
Pyrexia. No.
This is called Unholy. I think it's an album they redid, as far as I know, but I still haven't listened to it yet. But I saw them live a couple of
Yeah, because
weeks, months
Pyrexia was
ago.
never a band that I was always huge on. I just had the first record. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
same here. I had the first one, Service of Mockery, but I also
yeah.
had another one.
No,
I
I just have
can't
sermons. I
remember.
have a double LP of it, and it's one of those I got much later. Like I got in my adult years, as opposed again like Severe Torture, Centurion, Nile, all that shit I heard as kids. So when I heard Pyrexia, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. But some people I knew when it was out of print, that was like their favorite band. I was like,
Yeah.
I like Nile better. I was like, to me, they weren't as good as like I was expecting them to be. But I mean, I own the LP and I thought it was pretty good. But they opened up for Christian at that show, and I'll be honest, I didn't recognize anything. It was like it's just all
Mhm.
shit I didn't recognize.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say the show that I saw in Little Devil Bar was really good, and they had Ronnie from Malignancy playing with them
Dude,
now.
I know. I wish
And,
because he didn't. I text Danny Nelson and I was like,
ah,
"Hey, Pyrexia is playing with Chrissy," and I was like, "Is Ron playing that tour?" It's like he's playing
yeah.
some of that tour. So is he playing the Cleveland show? He's like, "No." I'm like, "God damn it!"
That's too bad.
I
Yeah,
know it
yeah,
is. Yeah,
yeah. But they were good, man, and a good live act. And I gotta say, I like them more and more. It took
yeah,
for me a couple of years as well because I heard that first one, and to me, the first one was like, okay, it's all right. I hear the suffocation influence,
yeah,
but I just thought it wasn't that, as good as Suffocate because, when you hear an obvious influence, what you automatically start doing is comparing it to that band, which you shouldn't do.
yeah,
It's not really an honest thing because, yeah, when one band already has a couple of legendary albums that you listen to over 100 times, like FG and Pierced, and because I heard Pyrexia years later, I didn't hear
same.
them
Yeah,
when they had the
but
first.
now that you said it, you know what I'm gonna do? When I go home, I'm gonna bust out my LP. I'm gonna put on the spin pile, like probably bring it to a warehouse or something and spin it on Monday while packing or something. Re-listen to it again because it has been a while since I said. But talking about bands that like others, I don't think I've ever actually heard asked you or even talked about you ever. Do you like Carcass? I assume you like the early shit, or maybe do you
Oh
like
yeah,
Carcass?
I like Carcass, and I actually have all the newer albums as well, and I like them. Yeah, if I like hard work as well.
So do I.
So when I play Carcass, I'm either in a newer Carcass mood or in an older Carcass mood.
Sure. Yeah,
And
it's
when I
like two
play
different. Well, it's
older
like two different
Carcass,
bands.
yeah, and then when I play older Carcass, my first choice is Necroticism. I think that's the best Carcass record ever. And
Okay.
then Symphonies and Reek. I barely play that one. I think it's a little bit too noisy. Um, but then when I play the newer Carcass, I gotta say, all the newer ones are pretty badass. You know, they're more polished and an album I still can't really get into is Swan Song. I gave that a
See, I
shot.
like that. I do like I like that record better than the comebacks. Although, because I own the first comeback, Surgical Steel. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty good. But they put out a
yeah,
10-inch. It was just an EP, and we got in the shop, and I didn't like it at all. So I didn't listen to anything after. So like the Torn Arteries and stuff, like I never heard
yeah,
it. Because like
yeah.
we
They
usually
got a
when I hear
few.
something by a band I don't like, I don't check anything after.
Yeah.
But the reason I brought them up is because a band I recommend then, which of course I'm supposed to advertise them, is who I'm wearing, Pharmacist from Japan. Dude,
Okay.
Pharmacist, I've talked about them on the channel. We're putting out their new album, the third album. This is their first album, Medical Renditions of Grinding Decomposition. We're
That
repressing
sounds like a
this.
Carcass title.
Right. So, but dude, the thing is about Pharmacist, like there's a lot of carcass worship bands, right?
Yeah.
But Pharmacist, so they're on their third full length. Their second full length, we did the vinyl only. We actually have like 30 or so in stock. It was actually Chase that found the band, and Chase is more of a kind of obviously like death metal, severe torture, Centurion, but he's more of a black metal guy than I am, and a war metal guy than I am, right? Like for example,
Uh-huh.
he's gonna be more apt to be like a band that's influenced by like Blasphemy, Archgoat, Beherit, that type of stuff, as opposed to
He
I'm more
likes
of a
he likes the bullet belt bands.
yes, bullet belt band,
Yeah.
yes. So as opposed to I'm more opt for like carcass bands. But I will admit it's got oversaturated. But he's the one that sent them to me when this album came out in 2020. He heard it. Somebody sent him. He's like, dude, this is hands down the best carcass worship band I've ever heard in my life. And I listened
Okay.
to it. I instantly loved them. This album, and then the two they did after, it literally sounds like what Carcass would have done if they continue just playing stuff like Symphonies of Sickness and never change their style. But it's not ripping off riffs. Like it's original, good,
Mm-hmm.
memorable songs, but with the exact same feel, sound, and charisma. And the even the aesthetic, you could tell by the shirts, everything. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he kept everything. Dude, the albums, they have no band photos, just like Rika Putrefaction had no band photos on it. Symphonies had no band photos, with the exception of the picture disc, had the four face on the back. DAWG owns it, of course. Outside that, they kept the whole aesthetic, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really a carcass worship. It's kind of like I look at it as like if Carcass never changed their style, this is literally what they
Yeah.
still be playing. And it's like it's this guy, his name's Stefan, he's Ukrainian, but he lives in Japan. It's his band, and to my knowledge, he has like a Japanese drummer then. But it's like as far as new bands, like in the last 10 years, they have to be my favorite. Like it's like I thought literally blown away, and they turned in their new album. It's called Vertebrae After Vertebrae. It'll come out in 2026. I thought for sure by this third album, called following Carcass's footsteps, maybe they're gonna do their heart work or something. I
Mm-hmm.
uh I was like, this is gonna dude, I was blown. I was like, dude, this is probably gonna be hands down the best album in 2026. It's the same Carcass formula, but it's a little heavier. And Stefan's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, he's like, that's kind of like my Deeds of Flesh influence. I was like, oh, that must be what it is because it's heavy as shit. But in
Okay.
you can't so highly recommend them. And everyone that checked them out, because I talked about on the channel several times, hell, even before we signed them, I think that's maybe why they hit us up then, is because the medical renditions came out in 2020 and I started my channel in 2021, and I did like the best albums of the year before 2020, and I was like, I gave this like number one, like before
Mm-hmm.
we were even working with them, and everyone that checked them out, they're like, holy shit, this band is fucking amazing. I was like, oh, I'm
So
telling you,
they're
dude.
so you would say they're better than Impaled.
See, here's the thing: is yes and no. they're a better carcass worship than Impaled. But I don't consider Impaled, to me, that doesn't, I hear the carcass influence, kind of like you said for devourment influence with suffocation, but that to me is not a carcass ripoff. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you remember, is when
Yeah.
Impale first put out Dead Shall Dead Remain. I remember
Yeah.
the reviews, people like, oh, another carcass ripoff. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
they don't even really sound like Carcass. I was like,
Mm.
yes, I can tell. I'm not an idiot. I'm not like, I wonder if these guys like Carcass. I was like, but dude, it had like a lot more thrashy parts,
Yeah. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
blast beats. I was like, it's same with Exhumed. I was like, now if
Yeah. I
somebody
was
called
about to say that.
if
Yeah.
they called Impaled an Exhumed ripoff, which some did, I was like, okay, I get that. I was like, well, first off, it's like
Yeah.
two or three of the same goddamn guys. Depends on which area you're going from. There was Leon, there was Raw Sewage, and
Yeah.
wasn't there one? And then Sean McGarth was, I think he was in Exhumed for a little bit too, maybe just Leon. Nonetheless, two out of two guys. Well, no shit.
Yeah.
So calling an Exhumed ripoff, I was like, okay, I can at least see where you're coming from there. But a Carcass ripoff. So if we're talking strictly, who's the best Carcass worship playing the formula better, Impaled or Pharmacist? Pharmacist. Who do I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
more? Well, again, it kind of goes back to what you said with the Nile thing. Dead Shall Dead
Mm.
Remain and Mondo Metacoli. I literally grew up on those as kids. I bought those when those were brand new. I
Yeah.
saw I saw Impaled in 2001 when Dead Shell was the only album, and there was like 30 people there, and
Yeah.
I was a super fan since then. So that's kind of unfair comparison. You know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
bred in me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was another band. I have a CD. It's a band called Golem. You remember them?
Mm-mm.
Let me see if I
Goat.
can get
How do you pronounce how you spell it?
Golem, like in Lord of the Rings. Golem.
Dude, I have a double C. There's two albums. I have a double LP and a double CD. It's Necroticism era Carcass.
Yeah, and I got one with it's like a blue cover. Let me see what the name is. I have it here. Hold on, I'll grab it. Let me see.
Yeah, the band he's talking about, Hell's got them in about 5 years ago. A label did a double CD of it. It's the two albums on one each disc, and there's a double LP, and I bought both of them. And it literally sounds like, if you like necroticism, it sounds like total carcass necroticism. I actually
I
listen.
got
I re-listened to those CDs, the two albums. I listened to those like recently, about 5 months ago. Oh yeah, that cover is totally different than what I have because mine's a repress. What's the album
yeah.
called? Eternity, right?
Holy shit! There's like these gothic
But I think the album's called Eternity, and then because there's two albums.
eternity, the weeping horizons.
Yes, and then the other album's called shit. I would know.
This was
Shit, I
on
can't.
Invasion Records.
Yeah, see, I don't have that version. Mine is I guess a reissue, and it's a two on one. What, like I said, it's a double disc, one each album because their songs are pretty long. They're like 5 minutes a piece, 6 minutes.
Oh, it's pretty cool. The booklet has some advertisement of Invasion, so I can see what else they put out. Let me check that. Oh, they put out a Deflashed album,
Which
the
one?
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Yeah, great. That's a great album.
They put out Infus Dead, Killing Christ.
Phenomenal. One of my faves. The good
That's
stuff.
then there's a band Lunatic Invasion. Never
I
heard of
don't know
them.
them. I don't know them now.
Embracing, never heard of them.
Nope.
God Gory. I've heard of the name, but
Oh, I've never even heard of them. No. Got
oh,
gory.
Fermenting Innards. That rings a bell.
Who fermented innards?
Fermenting Innards. That rings
Well,
a
I mean,
bell,
there's
man.
that's a carcass song from Freak Putrefaction. So I know that.
That's why it might ring a bell.
Might be, yeah.
But
Yeah, fermenting innards is on
it could also be a band I played with years ago. You never know.
is Golem, are they from Holland?
No, I think
It's Europe somewhere. Maybe
yeah,
Germany?
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Germany or Austria, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. But
Wait,
it's
this is the booklet is like written way too small for me, even with my reading glasses. So maybe some of the viewers know that. Where does the band Golem come from?
you know what? I got my laptop here. I can just metal archive these fools.
Yeah.
I know it's over towards your way. It's not US. That I do know because I did look it up. It might be Germany.
Yeah, and I remember picking this up somewhere like really cheap, and I kind of liked the logo and the titties on the cover. So I was like, hey, and then you play it at home. You had no idea what it was. Probably picked this up at the Dynamo Open Air Fest at a metal market, like a blind buy, you know?
It's a good band though, yeah. Because I was new to
Oh,
them
yeah.
again. Dreamweaver's the second album. No, it's not. No, the second move. No. They have a third album from 2004 called Dreamweaver. I never heard that. The Second Moon is the second album. Yeah, Eternity, Weeping Horizons, 96. Second Moon. But what I have is, yeah, Eternity, The Weeping Heavens, Second Move compilation 2014. So no, okay, I got this like 11 years ago. I said five. I got it when it came out. FDA Records, they did a CD double LP, and I never heard them. I listened to it, and I really liked them, and I bought
Mhm.
the CD and LP. And but ironically enough, I re-listened to it like 5 months ago. I'm like, yeah, this shit's freaking killer. But I didn't know they have it. So 2004 album. I'm not gonna lie, the cover and logo look homo as fuck, so they probably fell off the wagon. But could be good. Could be good. But anyways, where they're from? They're from Germany. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the CD now in my stack here, so I'm gonna check it out tomorrow, I guess,
Oh, you know
sometime.
what? It's funny. So check this out, Seth. The guitars, vocals, 89 present. Andreas Hilbert. He's ex Fermenting Innards. Let me check out Fermenting Innards. Let me see there. Who's this? Fermenting Innards is a black death metal band. The band photo, they're all in corpse paint. Looks like black metal. They have a full length called Miss from 1995. How the fuck does a band called Fermenting Innards? It's like, dude, this literally looks like Emperor or something. And I'm not saying that in a bad or good way. I'm just take it for what you will. It looks these band photos look like Emperor or whoever black metal. And why would you call themselves Fermenting Innards off Carcass? Like that doesn't like fit at all.
Yeah,
That's
weird.
like weird. They got 3 demos, an EP called Drowned, and a full length called Mist from 1995. And these homeboys are from Germany as well. Huh. Who knows? If I remember, maybe I'll throw them. If I get bored, I'll throw them on the background on YouTube or something.
Yep,
Check them
you
out.
never know how good it's gonna be.
Exactly. Never know. Let's check it out. But hey, did you want to talk about you brought it up. What is the vitriol or
Oh, the vitriol. Yeah, I was just wondering if you heard anything about that. I was just amazed again by what I read online.
it seemed like it's
Uh,
kind of a hot topic, and technically speaking, this is the stuff for the channel I should be doing if I want to go
yeah,
strictly by views slash what the public wants to hear, is they want to hear about gossip of what goes on in the scene. Personally, I'm not into gossip, so I don't follow it, but I'm not an idiot. I realize that's a smart thing to go over, but
yeah,
I don't know about it unless someone sends me it. I skimmed through that nerd that you sent me that did a video on him, but
yeah.
the one guy was giving his side of the story, and he's just like, "Yeah, I did a bunch of cocaine." And the head honcho, what's the main guy of the band? What's the main guy?
Uh, Kyle, I think.
Kyle's the main guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
He's
he's
the
like,
one that was left at the gas station.
yeah, but he's just like Kyle was standing there staring at me, like judging me. But then you're telling me like he's known as a huge cokehead. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm confused now. Why would he be mad at a guy doing coke if he's a huge cokehead himself? Is that like the
No,
story of
that was
what
not.
people are?
No. Then I don't think you got it completely right. As far as I saw the story and what he tells in his, because he put out a 40-minute video with his own statement. What he explains is that on whenever he goes on tour, is that a few times on tour he likes to do nose beers, as he
Yeah,
calls
yeah,
them,
no, yeah,
the
yeah, no.
nose beers.
What was that guy's name? The nose beers guy. What's his name?
That's the main guy. That's the main guy. So then
Oh, it
he's
is. Oh, it didn't.
yeah.
Are you sure?
So
I
he
thought he said he got kicked out of the band.
yeah he is his own band.
He got kicked out of his own band.
Yeah. Listen,
Oh,
he was sleeping.
I'm gonna put this in. So I'm looking at the names. I'm gonna put this in. Keep talking, but I'm gonna just so I pronounce type it right. I'm gonna put this in Metal Archives and pull up members so we're on the same page. But yeah, keep it in the
So
nose beers. I thought that was funny too.
so as far as he explains is he's sleeping, resting, whatever, and then he wakes up because he hears noise, people talking and being nervous. because they're approaching a border and they're cleaning out the van and blah blah blah, because there might be traces of whatever they used, maybe weed or whatever. So he tells them like, "Hey man, don't be so nervous about this, because this is not what they're looking for." Blah blah blah, and they get mad at him for not taking it seriously enough, you know. So he goes back in his pay and he tells the crowd in his video, like, yeah, yeah, I do nose beers and blah, blah, blah. And then starts telling about certain situations he can't handle. So you shouldn't approach me in this or that way, blah, blah, blah. That's where I already have a problem with it, because it's like, it's always the same thing with these people with mental fucking issues that use this to defend themselves from stupid actions, you know?
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, you did this because I told you not to do this and this and this and this and that. So if you don't sit up, bark like a dog, hang your paw out, and do 3 circles in the air, then I'm gonna flip the fuck out. So it's all on you. You know, that's
Oh,
kind of what the story was.
I
And
did hear that part. I guess that lit a little over my head, but dude, I
yeah,
can't stand that shit either because it's like, dude, there's not a rule book of how to approach you, with the exception of you don't punch someone in the back of the head to get
yeah,
their attention. I'm like, that's on
yeah,
you if you because yeah, he said he has anger problems or whatever. I'm like, that's on you,
exactly.
buddy. It's like
Yeah,
that's a personal development issue, Holmes.
exactly. And you know, there's a lot of stuff in this whole story. I mean, there's like one bigger bad, he's the one getting that, and I try to picture the whole situation, because he was left at the gas station with his girlfriend and his dog. Okay, why the fuck would you take your girlfriend on tour? Unless she's the unless she's the tour manager, the
Yeah,
sound
I've
engineer.
heard I've heard, bands have told me behind the scenes have done that. They're like, do not do
Yeah,
that. That's a bad idea.
or the merchandiser, and that means she's the merchandiser because your regular merchandiser couldn't do the tour.
Yeah.
That's when you can take your wife on the tour. But still, picture this: you're on a tour. There's this couple, and there's the rest of the band members.
Yeah.
You don't want that in any situation.
Have you ever been in that situation?
No, and I'm not
Okay.
stepping in any of those situations. No, and the same thing. I mean, but then this happens. This gets all online and blah blah blah. And I never met any of these guys. They're first of all, I have both Vitriol albums, and I think they kick ass. I think the guy's a brilliant musician,
Okay, because I
and
haven't heard
he,
him.
he
I just know the name.
obviously has some issues he needs some help with, and I hope he gets the help he needs, because he's a big talent in music. If you watch his playthroughs, and man, it's amazing, and it's sick as fuck riffs. I mean, the guy really writes some sick stuff. So it's I'm not trying to bash on the guy. I'm just amazed that then afterwards he starts doing a crowdfunding. He gets 10K for that. So
Damn.
obviously there's a lot of people who think it's okay to support a guy doing nose beers who has this, I don't know how many line up, because this happened a few times as far as I heard.
But
Um,
what did he need a 10K for? Did he go to jail? Like what? Why did he need 10K?
I don't know.
What did he say he was funding? He had to put a reason, like a GoFunding. Like what was he trying to fund?
To put a new band together.
Why the fuck does that take money?
I'm trying not to laugh really hard, Justin. I don't know. I really don't know. It be, I mean, but the fact that he can actually find members who, after reading this, who say like, yeah, I'll step in your band, and yeah, I will go on tour with you. There's promoters now who booked him on a tour. I mean, he built up a lot of credit. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Damn.
obviously done something right somewhere, man. I mean, or he has the right contacts. But I read the story and I saw what happened afterwards, and I was like, holy fucking shit. And again, because of that stupid fucking nose beer cocaine.
Yeah.
Why? Just act fucking normal and stay off that shit, man.
Yeah.
You see it everywhere.
Are the nose beers popular in Holland? Like, let's say just in the metal scene. Like, is that kind of like a
which
popular
cer-
thing?
with certain people, but I don't hang around with them.
Yeah, I guess it's the same here because I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not going to say it's most, but it's not like shocking when you hear it either. So it's
Yeah, it's I think it's even less shocking in the US and more common for people to use it than over here, but still it depends on the scene because there's certain scenes over here, especially with rich folks. I mean, I don't know how much they're using. And Holland has a narco problem when it comes to dope and importing and exporting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're pretty much well known for it as well. But not in my
how
house.
illegal is how illegal are the nose beers in Howland? Like I'm sure it's not legal, but like
Oh
how
no,
much trouble? But I'm saying
they're
how much trouble
completely.
are you getting into? Is it just like a slap on the wrist or
I don't know.
okay?
I never had it.
Yeah,
I, I never use it. I don't want to
hey,
carry it. I don't want it in my house. So I don't know exactly how much, but yeah, I guess if you have it, they'll first of all take it away. You get a fine, and maybe you have to go to court. I don't know. It's not like you're going to jail for so many months for possession, probably. But if you start
here you
selling
do
that
here
shit,
here
then you
you
will.
will here you definitely will, but I think it's based
Yeah,
on quantity. Like if you just had a
yeah,
tiny little
yeah, of course.
baggie for personal
Yeah,
use, I doubt you do prison time. But if you have distribution amounts, you're definitely going to prison. That I do know.
yeah, yeah. That's probably the same here too. Of course, it's
Yeah,
about the amount and what you're doing with it, and if you're selling
yeah,
it or not, or yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
I just,
but
dude,
I don't like
honestly,
it.
like, I assume with guys like you, I assume like that's almost like as normal as seeing a guy brush his teeth because you've been touring with so many bands that I just
Yeah,
figured you walked in on it or around bands that you had to play with that were just doing it maybe backstage or at fests. Like,
yeah.
I figured you had way more experience with it than I do. And it
I've
sounds
seen it.
like,
Yeah, I've seen it all around me, and not only in the metal scene, but also here in Boxstall with people I know and hang out with, and then on a party, all of a sudden someone pops out one of those bags, and one time it's speed, the other time it's coke, it's whatever, and they all have one thing in common.
what's that?
And I don't want to bust anyone's balls, but most of these people who put shit in their nose are the most insecure people in the world, and they have a problem with themselves. A lot of them feel shit about themselves when you
Hmm.
start talking to them, and they kind of need it to feel like a man again. And to me, that's like double pathetic.
I'll keep
When I
that in
see
mind.
that,
I
it's
never
like
picked
I
up on it
get,
because dude, all the people that I know that do it, they only do it occasionally, and I only know like maybe
yeah,
5 people. I can honestly say I don't know if I even know any. I know I've met,
yeah,
but no, like an actual coke head, like a guy that's doing it every day. I don't think I know a single one.
yeah. I know a few, and they're really the insecure people. There's a few exceptions to the rule. I mean, there's a few people I know who can really handle it and know what they're taking, and they're all uh, uh, with these people. They're working, they're completely balanced out, and they're like, okay, that night I'm going for it, and I'm going to party. And they also don't turn in complete dickheads after using it.
Hmm.
And that's the difference with the big group of insecure motherfuckers and oh yeah, let's go to do some lines. Oh, look at how tough I am. And then it's like, man,
Yeah.
you're not tough. You're a fucking baby.
It's funny because I've never even tried it, but I will say this. Out of all the recreational drugs, if I had to do one, that one had the most appeal because what I do know about it, again, I never tried it, and that's why I don't understand if do people turn into dicks. And again, someone could correct me that's done it a lot. To my knowledge, it just gives you a shitload of energy. I'm like, well, if I was to do it, the reason I would choose that one is because I would get a lot of work done. Now, people would say, well, meth does the same thing. I was like, yeah, but what I know about meth is it fucks your teeth up. I was like,
Yeah,
that's no, their teeth fall. I was like, that's not fine. I don't want that. So
no,
cocaine would think it seems like it'd have the least amount of negatives with positives if I had to choose one. Again, I never done it because I think the cons outweigh the pros. But if I had
yeah,
to, for example, dude, like I said, dude, I hate weed, man. I hate it. It just makes me tired and fucking stupid. So I don't like
yeah,
it.
but
So that's why I don't do it. But
yeah,
with cocaine, I was like, how does someone turn into a dick or fuck their life up? I was like, if it just gives you energy. So apparently it
yeah, but
has to be doing more than that.
it depends on the person, it doesn't, it's not like, oh, it gives you energy and that goes for everyone who uses it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're in a bad mindset and you're feeling depressed because your relationship is going bad and blah blah blah, and then you need a kicker and you take it, and then you feel like you can take on the whole world, you can be a total dickhead. And
Okay, I can see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a good
I've
point.
seen
I
guys,
didn't look at it that way.
yeah. Or and then there's coke. Then the bad stuff, what they use a lot in Holland is speed. That's really pathetic, man. People turn,
Is that fentanyl? Like I know they put fentanyl in our shit. That's what's killing everyone. Is that the same thing as
yeah, but
speed?
there's no speed is also what they snore, and I don't know the exact what's in it, but
Oh, I
it's
always just
so
thought speed
fat.
was cocaine. I thought that was the same shit.
No, 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 definitely not. No,
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah,
way
I don't know what that
cheaper
is then. I
also.
don't even know what that is then.
It's crap, and people turn in complete idiots after using it a lot of times. Sometimes they can't even talk normal anymore. But I also know people who smoke weed and can't talk straight anymore, or have a
Oh, so do
conversation,
I. I'm about
or
to. Yeah, you could tell. Like I know people
yeah,
that smoke. I know people that smoke weed all day long, and they seem normal as hell. And then I know other guys
yeah,
that smoke weed and they seem like a complete dumbass. You could just tell they're stoned
yeah,
as fuck.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the same with alcohol. There's people who turn aggressive.
Yeah,
There's people who are gonna be funny. There's people who are gonna
yeah,
fall asleep, and there's people who you don't notice anything. And it seems like they can drink 20 beers and no problem.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's different for everyone. And but with the whole, again, with the whole nose beers things, what I see around me, looking at, let's say, the if I take 40 people that I know who use it, there's maybe five who can actually handle it and don't turn into idiots or dickheads.
Okay.
So I
It's
would
funny you say that
highly
because that's
advise
kind of
I would
like
highly
that,
advise the other 35 to start using something else, because I get it. You want to use something. I mean, I smoke something to every now and then. Well, every
yeah.
now and then, every now and then, then yeah,
You're practically a
it's
chimney, dude.
yeah, but still, the effect it has on me is a different effect than on some other people.
Yeah,
And I know more people like me. Lenzik from Cephalic, he can smoke quite some.
yeah.
And we can do that all night and still have conversations and still work and still do stuff. And yeah,
No, it's funny. That's the way of everyone I know that drinks alcohol. I would say there's about a maybe a little more than 10 to where for me personally they're not annoying. But most
mm,
people when they get not when they have one or two beers, but when most people when they get drunk, they annoy I'm annoyed. I'm literally annoyed to be around them. But
yeah,
there's about a good 10, 15 that kind of like you said, they just seem normal. Maybe a little bit more talkative, but
yeah,
they're not annoying. Like I don't like when someone just gets even if they're not being a dick, but when they're just a dumbass buffoon drinking, it's
yeah.
just I don't know, it just gets on my nerves.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I don't drink for, I think, even over 50 years. I kind of quit drinking. Every now and then I'll drink a beer, which is like 3 times a year. I'll drink one.
Oh shit, you're drinking less than me then, and I don't even drink that much. I probably drink
Yeah.
two or three beers every 10 days. That'd probably be the average.
Yeah, for me it's a few times a year when it's really hot out and I'm thirsty. I'm like, okay, now I'd like one beer, and then I drink one beer, and then I'm like, okay, after that I want a Coke or a coffee or whatever again.
Yeah, yeah.
But or maybe at a concert, I'll have one, but that's, let me say, 3, 4 at most. And then when you don't drink for such a long time, then drunk people get more annoying because you're not
Maybe that's why
in
I
the
get annoyed,
same.
dude. Because, dude, I could say this for sure too. Is like, have I ever been legally drunk in my life? Meaning, if I took a breathalyzer, would I be considered legally drunk? Yes. Have I ever been hammered? No. I have never been into the point where I have fallen over and couldn't walk. I have never been to the point where I could not drive a vehicle. I have never been to the point where I did not remember the evening ever. I've never had that once
Oh,
in my life.
I have forgotten many stories and I have puked on many marketplaces.
So that's maybe what you just said. Since I've done that little of drinking, maybe that's why, dude. Again, yeah, yeah, I just get annoyed. I like that's why a lot of times even at
Yeah,
shows and shit, unless I'm hanging around someone cool and I like being around, I'm having a good social time or watching a band I want to watch. I just want to leave, dude. I'm generally getting annoyed because it's
yeah,
a bunch of drunken idiots. I'm like, I was like, I don't like this environment. I never
yeah.
did.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. And luckily a lot of people have to drive to shows, so there's always a lot of people who drive and don't drink. So there's always a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people you can talk to who don't drink. But yeah, the really pissed drunk people, I don't dig them, man. I don't. But anyway, hey, I know the work. Work my way around them, and there's always a good time to go home again. So yeah. But I noticed since I don't drink a lot myself, because if you had a few beers yourself, then it's less annoying. That's how simple it works.
I yeah, yeah, of course I could see that.
But
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah, I just don't like drinking anymore, and especially the hangovers, man. Oh man, if I would get drunk right now, I would get a maybe 2 or 3 day hangover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that was just a sign in my body that said, dude, this is not good for you. Don't do it. Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
it's easy to stay off it, because yeah, it's easy to stay off it because if you feel like shit, because I came to the point that like when I had like 3 or 4 beers, I would already start getting a headache. I
Yeah,
like on the same night,
yeah.
and then, maybe you can't go home because you're staying at some other guy's place and they're staying until 3 o'clock. And then, oh man, it's like, yeah, it's like torture, and
Yeah.
and I was like, why the hell am I still doing this? And then, yeah, it was the big turning point was in France, in Paris, when we played a show there with Severe, and I was so pissed drunk that the next day I was vomiting my lungs out, and I was like, I'm done, man. Fuck the
So
alcohol.
what year was that?
So 2008.
Okay. Oh shit. Yeah. Shit. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's already 17 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah. And ever since, yeah, in all these years, 17 years, I don't think I drank 40 beers in those 17 years.
Okay. Okay. Shit.
Honestly.
So that was kind of that was
Honestly, I
literally
did it.
that was literally the day that you stopped then basically.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I felt fine afterwards because I was always smoking weed as well. So I was like, hey man, I don't really need it. I'll get my buzz from my weed, but I'll drink a nice Coke and it tastes way better to me. Because beer,
Yeah.
I even didn't like the taste of beer anymore. Now I do every once in a while. And then I like a beer that is not too heavy. So I'm not going for the 11, 12% beers because, man, I'm going to be on the floor.
Yeah, 100%.
But especially the lighter kind of beers, or a nice blonde beer, the Belgian ones, maybe 6%. That's all right, But then I'll have one, two at most, and then I'm done,
Okay.
and I'm good
Yeah.
for the rest of the year or the rest
Yeah.
of half a year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just figured that's what you could you I mean, I know the Germans like to drink, so I was kind of putting the Dutch in the same category that traditionally that's almost like kind of what you guys do is you drink, like you're known for that.
All the Europeans like to drink. I don't know
Okay.
one country where they don't like to drink. The Belgians like to drink. They have, I don't know how many special beers. The Germans have a couple of thousand beers.
Who would you say puts them back the most then? From your experience of places you played and visited, who would you say puts the beers back the most then, if you had to pick one?
Who would drink the most beers?
Countries, yeah. Like which country? And you based on your experience of what you've
Like the
seen.
best drinkers who can do the most
Yeah.
booze.
The ones that can drink anyone under the table, they'd be able to hang with the
Norwegians,
best. Who?
The Norwegians and the Swedish guys,
Oh,
and the
okay.
Polish guys. Yeah,
Paul,
my wife just reminds me about the Polish guys. Yeah, so
because your wife's
probably those three.
German. Your wife's German or Polish, right? She's German, right?
German. Yeah,
Yeah, German. Okay, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, while a German is wasted and laying down on a festival with his face in his own piss, a Norwegian will just look at it and drink another beer and laugh at it and order 5 more. I
Because
mean,
what
these
is it?
these guys are fucking Vikings, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, the booze is really expensive over there. So once they're over here, when the booze is cheap, they show everyone how much they like the price. Boom,
Because
boom,
yeah,
boom.
but because in Germany the booze is cheap too, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Way cheaper than over here, even. Yeah,
Oh, okay, shit, yeah.
yeah,
But in
yeah. But for
Norway and
instance,
Sweden,
like the guys from Vomitory, they can
yeah,
drink a beer or two.
yeah.
They're
Well,
good drinkers.
the vomit.
And
Did
Hate
you see
Sphere, that was
Did
the
you see the
Danish guys.
vomitory
Hate
interview?
Sphere.
I did the interview at Maryland Death Fest. Did you see it with two of the guys, the drummer and I forget the other which other guy? Did you see that?
No, not yet.
So it was at Maryland Death Fest. Not this. Was it the last one? I think maybe the second. So maybe not this 2025. Maybe it was 2024. I think it was 2024's. And the drummer, I forget his name. Was it Eric? I forget their names. They were cool guys.
The drummer is Tobias.
Yeah, dude, he was so damn drunk that he said something on camera. It was in the guy's ear, but I guess you could hear it. That was the first video I had to send out because I don't know how to do it. It had to be edited out because he said something. He's like, dude, you cannot put that on camera. He's like, this fucking shit will get canceled. He said it in Swedish, so I don't know. It was like, well, I don't know what he said. I was like, no, I will. He's like, yeah, because I think the way he hears that in Swedish, he's like, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. So I had to bleep it out because yeah, he was completely hammered.
Yeah, but vomitory guys are great, man. And I think Tobias is a great drummer. He's been
Mhm.
playing with Amon Amarth on a tour. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, he filled in for them. Yeah.
What's your take on Amon Amarth? Because it seems like people obviously have a diehard fan base, but a lot of the brutal death heads and stuff say that they're absolutely terrible. It's a band that I wrote off for years without checking it. I just assumed it was a trendy commercial band. But I listened to like some of their early albums and stuff. I'm like, I mean, I was like, this is not, you guys are making it sound like this is Marilyn Manson or something. I was like, this is definitely pretty good metal. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'm not a fan, and I've seen some videos. Sometimes I check out when I see a live video come by on YouTube, like in the suggestions, like they played on Wacken or wherever. I'm
mhm.
also not the type of guy that starts sitting on the floor and then row a boat
Oh,
with
that's
the
gay as
rest of the
fuck.
crowd.
I didn't even know. People told me about that. I was like, oh, well, that's as gay as fuck. I mean, like, why would you even do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, that is gay as fuck. But you know, yeah, you know, they're doing something right, man. It's a big fucking band, so I can say
Dude,
everything
I
about
would love to
them.
know though, who was the first person? Because it's not like, well, maybe they did. Maybe the band told them to get down, do rowboats. Like somebody had to do that first. And I'm
I have
curious,
no
like, how does
clue,
that
man.
catch on? Like, how does that happen? Like, because it had to been, I don't know, a show in goddamn whatever, Sweden. Somebody did it, but they do it over here too. Grant, I've never been to a Mount Mars show and I haven't seen it, but I'm aware. I've been
Yeah,
told multiple times of the phenomenon. Like, how does that catch on? Because
I
the
have no
first thing, dude,
clue.
even like the push-ups in the pit, how gay that is. The first thing that
Huh?
popped in my mind when people talked about doing push-ups in the pit, because that's what they do to Frozen Soul in bands. Oh, you don't know about that?
Push-ups in the pit.
Yeah, get down and get push-ups, bro. Okay, so you didn't know. I didn't know. So here's the thing, dude. Before this channel, I didn't know about any of this shit. I didn't know about rowboats. I didn't know about push-ups. And I'm like, dude, you got to be fucking with me. Like nobody's doing that. I was like, dude, I've been to easily 1,000 shows in my lifetime. I was like, I've never seen that in my life. And then I don't know, fast forward 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year at max. Frozen Soul, who I rip on, but they're fine, whatever. They opened up for Napalm Death. And sure enough, push ups in the pit. So I got to see it in person.
Oh
And
my
the first
god.
thing that pops in my mind of why that's so goddamn dumb, I'm like, if anybody was to ask me, hey, would you do push ups in the pit? If it was a serious question, I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm like, well, no, dude. I was like, the people are moving around. What they step on my hand and break my fingers? Like, that's the first thing that would come to my mind. I'm like, that just seems like you're
I
an
would
idiot. Like, why would you even do that?
I would go even further than that. I mean, I think push-ups, what you explain, push-ups in the pit is like, yeah, that's like quadruple ridiculous.
Pretty bad.
Um, First of all, I think circle pits are pretty fucking stupid. People walking in circles like a mongoloid.
Yeah.
I never got that American phenomenon, man. Why? I mean, pits over here are just fucking chaos.
Yeah.
It's like a battlefield, but without karate chops.
Oh,
With
well,
the ethics, with the metal ethics. So you're on the floor. You got like five hands picking you up. Hey, buddy, you're cool. Here's a beer. Balk. You get a beer in your face, and you go on. And then after you come out of the pit, it's like, oh man, I'm missing a bunch of earrings, and I didn't even fucking notice. But that whole circle pit shit, uh, karate kicks, all that guy. If I see some guy do that, I'm gonna break his nose.
Dude, you ever see the
Literally, if you do that,
you ever see the crab walk?
nah.
Dude,
Oh yeah,
gayest fucking shit on earth. Put it to you
I
this way, the first time I saw that, I just wanted to kick the dude's ass just because it was so goddamn bad. I was like, I think that's the king is the crab walk. And the thing is, dude, I can honestly say it was because of this channel, and that was one of the examples: push-ups in the pit, rowboats, crab walks, karate kicks. I didn't
Yeah.
know of any of this crap, and then now obviously I've seen it. I've yet to see the rowboats yet, though, in person. I didn't know any of this crap existed until people started asking me about it, like channel watchers. And
Yeah.
that was one of the few things where I started finally realize, oh, I'm now one of the geezers in the scene. Because I was always used to being the kid in the scene. You know what I mean? The one of the
Yeah.
kids, the
Yeah.
youngest. I was like, I'm no longer the kiddo in the scene. I'm now one of the I've entered the geezers because I'm like, you guys are asking me shit. I was like it's normal. Like, yeah, like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know of any in my day, Holmes, nobody did that shit. I was like, that's all I
No.
got.
No, in my days there was a mosh pit, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a pit.
Yeah,
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah, and if the band sucked, there was no pit. People would stand there and watch.
Or there's the other option. The band was good, but it was so underground. There was 10 people there. There wasn't enough to mosh.
Yeah, then that's when you get the horseshoe.
What's the horseshoe?
Well, yeah, the crowd's standing in a horseshoe shape because no
Oh,
one wants to stand first row.
oh, well, yeah, yeah,
When the
yeah.
metal police comes watching, like everyone in the crowd plays in a band, and they're
Uh,
just watching. Like, I'm not gonna bang to this band because they're gonna think this smaller band. I'm gonna bang to them. Then they're obviously bigger than me.
oh, yeah. I guess that's when the egos come in.
That's
Yeah,
the ego shows.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
fuck
but no,
it.
all
Back
this
in the
new.
day, back in the day, that was the pit, and there was moshing in the pit, and that was it, and it was all about the music and not about the look who I am and look at me and blah blah blah. And now since all the social media crap, everyone is building kind of his personality. You see, sometimes you see fans coming in a venue to watch a band, but they look like they're the fucking artist. It's like, hey man, acting in a certain way, talking in a certain way. It's like, hey man, act fucking normal. Be
Yeah.
you. Fuck all this bullshit. And if you're an artist, go on a stage and don't stand in the crowd doing crap walks, push-ups, and karate chops.
What do you think? Like, because obviously you've been a front man in a band, then you've been behind the kit too. So behind the kit, obviously you got no say. But why do you think then? Because there is other older guys, or there could be even younger guys that had the same mentality. They're like, dude, push-ups, rowboats, crab walks, karate kicks. Come on, dude, that's no go. Why do you think that there's been, or at least I've never heard of it, or seen a video, or seen a person? Why do you think the front man that has that same mentality? Because there's no way that they don't. Why do you think none of them ever say anything? Like
What
live
do you
right there,
mean?
just come on, man, don't be doing that shit. Like call it out, just like hell, that'd be good
Oh,
stage banner
okay.
right there. Like why do you think none do? Because I mean, maybe someone
I
has, but
think,
I
well, it depends on the band, of course. I think, first of all, a lot of bands are happy already that there's movement and that it's not a horseshoe.
yeah.
So, whatever. Uh, a lot of times, sometimes you're not playing in your own area. I mean, and the culture in America is not that different. But over here, if you go, for example, to the north of Spain, if they like you a lot, they spit towards you.
I've heard that. I have heard that.
And
That's
they
weird as
told me
fuck.
before the show, because if they didn't, I don't know how I would have reacted,
You'd
like,
want to
what
punch
the
them in the
fuck
face,
is
that's for
this?
sure.
So, a crowd is doing what a crowd is doing. And I don't think that there's a lot you can do about, well, if I see someone doing karate kicks and really hurting people, I would stop playing and I would say, this motherfucker's getting out of the club or I'm done.
Hmm.
Make a choice. I'm not doing that, and the same goes with, um, I remember a show that we played in Berlin with Do Scented, and Marvin from Severe Torture, who's a black person, played for Do Scented back then. And
Hmm.
there was a lot of Nazis there and skinheads doing racist stuff and doing Hitler waves and all that kind of stuff. And live, the singer from Do Scented just told the band, like, hey, quit. They're like, hey, man, this is not happening, or we just quit playing. We're done. And that's
Hmm.
good. You gotta, you need,
What country was that in?
that was in Germany.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so you draw the line wherever you think you should draw a line, and if you don't see people hurt, you see people having a good time. Hey, if this is how they have a good time here, I mean, we've done a show with Severe Torture in DAWG in Holland, and it's a small village, whatever. It was the Flater Take, the Dutch viewers, they might know this club, and it is this really small club, but they have a group of people that go there like 3 days a week. So they're always there, like 100 or 150 people. So every time a band is playing, it doesn't matter what band, it's packed, and they go nuts. Everyone knows each other in that place. So they start doing dancing like with carnival over here, like in lines, and it's a wild party, but it's not. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
metal, but sometimes it's not so metal. But anyways, we played there. They start all of a sudden they start singing in between songs like in a football stadium, and they were
Oh,
singing like
yeah.
severe torture, blah 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 blah. I don't even remember what they sang, but it was funny as fuck. So
Which
yeah,
country
what
was
do you
that?
do then? You know, it's we had the time of our lives.
Which country? Which country did that?
That was here in Holland.
Oh, okay, because like I've heard that on like live boots or maybe official. Like, for example, I think actually on the official live Dark Funeral album, and that's in Brazil, I believe. I think they do it. Like I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah, they start chanting
yeah,
and kind of like singing in between songs and like Dark Funeral, that type
yeah.
of shit.
Yeah, but there's this newer generation right now, and yeah, obviously they like fancy stuff and fancy moves, and to have a name for everything, and they want to present themselves. Look how cool I am, and social media is a big part of that. And yeah, us old folks, we don't give a shit about that because for us it's the music, and
Hmm.
we don't like all the fancy stuff. You know, better come up with good music, brutal artwork, and we're happy. We don't need more. You know, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the most pure. That's like the best. You know. But on the other hand, you know, people should dance how they should dance, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually stand at the bar, you know, and watch from there. Also because I don't want anyone bumping in my head, you know,
Yeah.
with all
Yeah.
the crazy operations I had there. So yeah, I always kind of
So
watch myself.
so you never actually witnessed the rowboats then? Like you never in person?
No, no, no. And it's also quite a while ago that I've been to the States. It's about 9 years ago. So I haven't seen the new trends.
And the push-ups you were just completely unaware of. I thought I was the only person that was the
I
last one
was
to find out
completely
about it.
unaware of that.
Yeah,
Push-ups
because
in the pit.
dude, they were almost making fun of me in the comments for not even knowing about it. Like, where you been, Grandpa? Like, I'm just saying, I never seen it.
I've never seen it either, man.
Okay, yeah.
No,
So
people don't
yeah,
do that here.
but here's the thing: is like Frozen Soul, dude. Not only were they doing it, the singer was that then encouraging it. Yeah, get down and get me some push-ups.
Oh, that's
Right.
need some push-ups.
Right. What it was, dude. I saw it firsthand. I heard about it. I didn't believe it, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh shit! They were. I thought they were fucking with me. I thought they were, joking.
No,
You were serious about that?
the only thing I asked for one time to a crowd is when we had nothing to drink on stage anymore. When I was really thirsty, hey, is there anyone who could give us some beers? And then I was like a full plate of beers on the stage, and we thought that was
Nice.
cool as fuck. I
Like
mean,
fans
that's
just brought it. Like fans brought you it,
yeah, yeah,
or
yeah. Someone brings like a bunch of bottle of beer. Yo, cheers, and they cheers to the crowd. I mean, that's metal. Not giving push-ups.
yeah,
Do that in the gym. I don't
yeah,
even do push-ups. Not even in a gym. I don't go to the gym.
right. You just
Nah,
ride your bike. You just ride your bike every day, right?
not anymore because now my work is really close. I walk every day.
How long is it? How long of a walk is it?
5 minutes, not even.
Dude, you're literally
Three.
that close. I mean, that's
Yeah, it's on the other side of the road.
oh, okay.
So
Well,
it's
that's
down the
convenient.
parking lot, cross the road, and I'm there. Yeah.
So that's convenient as hell.
Oh yeah. Fuck, it's fucking convenient. Yeah.
Is it what is the weather like in Holland right now? Because right here now it's cold as balls for us.
Yeah, it's kind of cold. It's around freezing point. So that's 0 degrees Celsius. You do Fahrenheit, but I don't know shit about Fahrenheit. So,
Yeah.
but it's around freezing point and a little bit colder than that at night. But the wind is northwest, so we get the Russian wind from Siberia, which is fucking feels like -10 now. I
Do
hate
you
it.
guys get any snow?
No, no, not yet here. No, we don't get a lot of snow in Holland. So
Okay.
sometimes we don't even get snow a whole year. But probably I don't know, maybe next month or in February it could also still snow in March. So
Same for us, yeah,
I
because
don't know.
we definitely do get snow. Like it's not like an if, we definitely do, but it's not like it's there's some days that are really bad snow days, but it's posted like Colorado or something. It's nothing like that. But
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it even snowed at all in Holland. Like the European
Yeah,
countries,
it
it's hit
does.
or
It
miss. I
does.
know some do, some don't.
It snows, and I like how it looks on a postcard. But
Uh,
I hate having to go through it because yeah, I don't like to trip and fall on my head or whatever, you know.
sure.
So yeah, I
Uh,
hate snow. And it's cold, it's wet, it's fuck that shit, you know. I like the summertime so I can sit out in my garden, put on the grill, sit there,
yeah.
with a t-shirt on,
No gay
way
gas
better.
grill, right, Seth?
Hmm?
No gay gas grill, right?
No, fucking I got charcoal. Good stuff.
So the gas ones
No,
are no go.
gas grills. I've grilled on a gas grill a year ago in Germany at a friend's house, and that was actually a really nice, convenient grill. I mean, if you want to fire that thing up real quick and you don't have a lot of time, of course, a gas grill is way more convenient than a charcoal grill because you just put it on and you shut it off and you're done.
Yeah.
And with charcoal, you got to take your time. So, and that was a pretty good grill, but still, I prefer the good old fashioned making fire in a pit.
Mhm.
It works.
You grill pretty much every day in the summertime.
No, 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 no. Mostly on weekends or
Okay.
sometimes. Yeah, it also depends a bit on how much we work or how the weather is. And I personally prefer to grill when I have people over. So not
Yeah.
just for the couple of us, because grilling, I'd like to prepare a lot of food instead of just a little bit.
We talked about the burgers. What do you guys have American hot dogs over there? Like not fake American hot dogs, like real hot American, like Ballpark, Nathan. Do you guys even have that over there?
I've had some hot dogs over there that I never had in the whole of Europe.
Is that a
So
good thing or a bad thing?
that's for America, it's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. And
you so
there's
you
only
so you're saying you wish you did have them that over there then available in
oh
your
yeah,
grocery store.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The same goes for good burgers. The best one you can buy now over here is from Five Guys.
Why do you think? Why do you think? Because again, at the end of the day, when it comes to the world, everything's about money. If there's a profit to be made, especially if you own a company, why would these companies like Nathan and Ballpark and these burger companies not ship their product to these countries that there's no way in hell that just like us fat ass Americans, you guys are going to like over there? I mean, you're proof. You said you like them, so clearly they would sell. Why the hell would they not? Is there? I don't understand. Like, why
Um,
why wouldn't they get on that fucking game?
because I think there's a lot more to putting up a franchise than just do it. It's not like it's not such an open market. I think it has to do with licensees. The same goes with Starbucks. Starbucks has a lot of shops over here, but
Mm-hmm.
actually in Holland we have a really big coffee brand called DAWG. And
Okay.
there was kind of a fight going on, like who'd get the main position, like at all the train stations, at this, at that. And they kind of lost that licensing fight. So Starbucks gets it, but the thing is that they don't pay a dime of tax in Holland because they have their construction in such a way that they don't even pay tax.
No shit.
So yeah, I like their coffee, but I don't like the way they operate. So,
And
but
damn Americans coming over there and fucking working for
yeah,
free.
but we do. Hey, according to Trump, we do the same to you guys. We have
Oh,
screwed America over for years, so now he puts the tariffs on us, which you
yeah.
guys are paying yourselves. But hey,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
just more inflation for you guys.
Yeah,
But
it is if you're getting shit from overseas. Yeah, it is.
yeah, still also in your own country, also on
Yeah.
your own products.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, because the cost will go up. Yeah, because the people getting it up, they gotta mark their prices up. Yeah,
everything
100%.
adds up, so everything's getting more expensive, so it goes up and up and up.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I've
hey, we
noticed
all
that, dude.
know, yeah, we all know the guy is not a genius at economics. So what do you expect?
Yeah. Yeah,
But I've seen crazier stuff coming from Trump. So his
yeah.
his response to the what was that, the death of that actor, the guy who played in what was his name, Bob Reiner.
Oh, is that the Bill Cosby guy?
I no, I don't. No, 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 not Bill Cosby. The
No, but
All in
is
the
that the guy
Family.
that what is that the guy that was in the Bill Cosby show? Because I remember he died.
No,
I
I
don't
think he
know.
was in the All in the Family, the Archie Bunker show.
Okay, well, what was
He,
Trump's? What did he say about him dying? I didn't even hear it. What did he say?
yeah, it was kind of insulting that but because obviously this guy was critical towards Trump. So
Okay.
yeah, he was a bad actor. He already had problems. He had a Trump delusional syndrome, whatever. He made it all about him, and he was basically bashing a guy who is killed together with his own wife by his own kid.
Oh, I did hear. I know
Shameless,
you're talking about. Yeah, Lindsay told me. Yeah, the guy. I forget who you're talking about. Yeah,
shameless.
yeah. He got the guy that got murdered. Yeah.
Yeah, and the same goes with some other stuff he recently says. It's like, yeah, I'm more amazed every day with the dude. Yeah, I wonder in 20 years how we're gonna look back at this.
But I just laugh. I mean, I think. I mean, especially overseas, I think a lot of people. I mean, I guess people here are too. They just kind of laugh at what he says, and obviously some people get upset, and then there's some other people that just laughing, and then there's some people that love him. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it used to upset me in the beginning, and now I'm like, dude, whatever, do your thing.
Yeah.
I stopped caring, and that goes for a lot of the world problems right now. Also people have been asking me, what is your stance? Are you for Israel or Gaza? Neither.
My
I
stance is I
quit
don't. What
caring. Yeah,
my stance is if they're asking me what's going on, I don't even know.
yeah. I mean, I knew a few people from Israel who live there, and they're nice people, and I hope they will do fine, and they will not get hurt in this whole thing. And I hope that for everyone. And but it ain't my problem, and I'm not the one who's gonna solve it. So
1,000%, yeah.
I'll see it on the news, but I'm not gonna take anyone's side if it's not my thing.
What about
Fuck that. I'm done.
what about
I'm done with that.
what about Ukraine and Russia? Are they still going at it? Like again, I don't even
Oh
know.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Russia just bombed. What was it? I think an energy supply. So now over there it's really fucking cold. So now I think
Oh,
two-third or a third of whole Kiev, the main city, is without any form of electricity.
oh, that's got to lick ass
Yeah,
balls.
the Russians, they don't give a fuck. They
Yeah.
bomb schools, hospitals, this, that.
What
They
is
just
exactly what is it that they want? They had to have wanted something to invade. Like what is
they
it?
want the whole country. It's real simple. Putin wants the whole country, and he doesn't want just Ukraine. He
What's the
wants
other one? Who else is he?
Lithuania, Estland. White Russia is already under Russian
So why isn't he
control for
attacking?
one
Why aren't they
part.
attacking why aren't they attacking Lithuania and shit right now?
No one knows. Putin does whatever he wants to do, and I think he will in the end. Yeah.
How
If
old is
you
how
will,
old is that guy? How old is he?
who Putin?
Putin. Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean, is
I
he
don't
is
know.
he one of because I don't even know what the guy looks like. Is he one of those old geezers that's like, yeah, but he's gonna be dead in 10 years?
Oh no. Well, they think he's kind of sick right now. He could be dead in 10 years, but that doesn't really matter because he has like one. As far as I'm concerned, he has like one mission, and he wants to get the old Russian Reich back. The old thing.
But
So
what I mean
he
is
might
he might die before like that happens if he's towards his end.
probably, yeah, probably he might die trying, and Poland is already preparing at the border. Because he might even invade them too. That's how stupid he is. And if he does that, that's when he really has a problem because that's a NATO country. And that goes also for Lithuania and Estland. So if he does that, he has a big problem. But the thing is that Europe needs to show that they're united, and that's a big problem because there's a lot of countries here and they don't all agree on everything.
Mhm.
Also, we've been waiting way too long with getting our military in order. So we're behind,
Mhm.
and we're kind of dependent on the United States. But the United States has Trump, and Trump is not best friends with Europe or with anyone. He doesn't give a fuck about anything because he's not interested in that whole conflict. To him, it's just a little bug in the eye, because he sees a real a way bigger picture. For him, it's about the big powers in the world: Russia, China, and the US, and he wants to be the biggest of them all.
Yeah, I
So
can see that. Yeah,
that
yeah.
whole Ukraine thing to him is irritating, but he doesn't matter. He doesn't mind who wins that. He just wants to make a deal and he wants it to stop. That's
See,
his
what I don't
only
understand with
thing.
that mentality though is even if that's truly what he wants to do, he's only in there for well, he's got 3 more years. Like, there's no way he's going to succeed. Even if he somewhat succeeds, he'll be out of office by the time it happens. So it's like, well, how did you benefit from
Yeah,
that?
but if he succeeds to make a deal, then of course there's going to be deals, and the next president has to follow the deals and whatever. That's because they want some kind of army to keep the peace and blah 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 blah. But still, it's all one big pile of bullshit, of course, because they want Ukraine to give up a lot of land, which is in the end, what you can say is then the aggressor won. So apparently you can just march in a country and shoot everything to pieces and not stop, not listen to anyone, just threaten the whole fucking world that you're going to use your nukes, and then in the end you're going to cut a deal with the most corrupt president in the United States that they ever had,
Mm.
who doesn't give a fuck about people's lives or whatever. That's what's happening right now. And I don't like Putin, I don't like Trump, and I don't like Xi. So I think all the three big countries in the world have the most corrupt world leaders ever that we ever had. And yeah, that is a problem. But I'll see it when it's at my doorstep. I'm not
Yeah, I was
gonna
going to
solve
say, like,
it.
the whole Ukrainian thing, is that affect, because you guys are obviously much closer to it than as far as distance wise, it's much closer to you
Yeah.
than the US. Is that having any direct effect on your guys' life or not yet?
Kind of. Well, what you see here on the news is that the Russians, they try to hack like a lot of stuff. They have hacks every day, big attacks on data, and that means not only infrastructure but like gas supplies, electricity things, the government websites, all that kind of stuff. There's drones being spotted now all over Europe, but they never know for sure. Like, are they Russian drones? Is it just some kind of hobby dude putting up a drone? But sometimes the drones are so big that they know it's definitely not. But they're spying. There's stuff happening in Europe. So what they're also doing now in the news is telling people like, hey, that it could happen that when one of those big data attacks, that for maybe 72 hours you're not going to have any electricity, so you're going to have any, you need an emergency package at home with like an emergency radio and some food and this and that. And then of course there's a whole big group of people who say like, oh, they're just trying to scare us and blah blah blah. So you get the same discussions as with COVID or
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
and I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna get any emergency bullshit. I'll see it when it's there, you know.
Yeah, trust me, dude. I got stories I can tell you, but I can't tell you on camera that you'd be laughing your fucking ass off. I'll tell you in person if I
Yeah.
see you next. Like, yeah, oh,
But yeah,
dude.
there's even people. Yeah, I know people. Some people are even preparing for a zombie apocalypse. I mean, that's how far some
Well, this
other
way,
people go.
my
But
stories are the equivalent of zombie apocalypse. It was so goddamn dumb.
yeah, or
Yeah,
the end
and
of
they
the
go,
world.
yeah. Would
Yeah.
speaking since you're more in the loop with all that crap than I am. Granted, I'm one of the most out of the loop people. I'm sure there's somebody who's got me beat, but I'm definitely in the top tier of out of the loop when it comes to that stuff. What is your opinion? Yes or no? Do you think that aliens exist or don't exist?
Dude, I don't know. I like
But if you
movies
had it,
about them.
what's that?
I like movies about aliens.
Have you ever watched like any of the documentaries, conspiracy theories about it?
No, because I hate conspiracy theories and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, because I'd be really
I can't
curious
watch
because
that. I've talked to some flat Earth people who actually believed that the Earth was flat, and they showed me those. Yeah, but it's all on YouTube and blah 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 blah, and that appears to me is so fucking dumb that yeah, it feels kind of
I'll say
insulting
this:
to
I,
me.
I 100% yeah, like, do I believe the Earth's flat? No, I do not. But I
No,
mean, I've heard a couple of their arguments. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. I'll at least give you this credit. You're not as when I first heard that they believe that, I just thought this has got to be some just drugged out of his skull dumbass. But their responses were much more intelligent than I thought they were going to be. I was like, oh, well, at least you got some decent reasonings that I can't answer. I was like,
Yeah.
but dude, my whole thing is with that. I'm like, why would they lie? I'm like, because here's the thing is like, do I think the government and shit lies? I'm like, 1000%, but that's for money and control. I was like,
Yeah.
whether the earth is flat or round, that does not benefit anybody. It doesn't matter. There's
Yeah, it
nobody can
does.
benefit from that. So it doesn't,
Yep,
why would
they
you lie
do.
about that?
Actually, there's people have benefits from that.
Who?
Views,
Who?
views,
Views.
views on YouTube, and someone
No, oh
benefits
no, no,
from
no.
that.
Yeah, no, for the theory. No, I'm saying their argument
Yeah.
is the government has lied to us for years about the earth
Oh,
being
that.
round.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
but that's
my my
yeah.
response is I'm not arguing the government lies. You're an absolute idiot if you don't think they lie about 90% of shit. I'm 100% with you there. But why
Yeah.
would they lie about the earth being round? I was like, what benefit do they have to
Oh,
get from
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is no benefit.
Yeah.
And it's real, yeah, but there's people who are so unhappy with the government and think that everything is happening beyond their control, and even voting doesn't matter because it's all already decided and blah 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 blah. If you're already in it that far, there's no reason even discussing with these people, because yeah, there's no reason discussing it with these people, and they just want the government to fail and put them on their back and blah 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 blah. And but I'll guarantee them, even if there was going to be some kind of anarchy and the government would be no more, then those people are the first ones turning into problems because they're anti-government, but usually they get money from the government. They're sitting at home doing no work. They're using like all the benefits from the government. They're using our roads. They're using this. They're using that.
Kind of
So
funny you said that because I never thought
yeah,
about that. Because like even just the old school, like let's say the punk scene and shit, the ones that would sing about anarchy and stuff. When you look at
yeah,
the crowd, it's like just a kind of like what you said, it's a bunch of losers. It's like, okay, dude, if there was true anarchy and the whole only the strong will survive, you would literally be the first to go. Like, what are you talking
yeah.
about?
Because they're the first ones to die because first of all they don't wash themselves. So they get diseases and shit. They're
Yeah.
too fucking lazy because they're in a house all day playing punk and doing nothing. So they're not used to work. They
Mhm.
just want to
Yeah.
eat pizza. But hey, when the anarchy is there, they got to make their own pizza. No one's
Right.
going to bring it to them. They got to
And
grow
keep in
their own
mind,
food.
all those ingredients, the food and shit, that costs money. Well, you're not getting your free government check no more. So how are you going to buy that food?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So still, it's yeah. There's always a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to that.
Oh,
And
1000%.
yeah, and the same goes with a lot of people over here who are completely anti-government and are always only bashing and also for all their problems always blaming other people instead of themselves. And I think if you're from a country like the United States or Holland or any Western civilized country, that 90% of your luck is on you, and it's only 10% influence from the government.
What do you mean as far as
So it,
luck? Like luck is
well,
like,
your happiness, what you create,
oh
90% is
yeah,
only
that's definitely
chance.
100%. Yeah, 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 100%. Dude, I'm
And
telling you
maybe
right now, if you show me a person with a shitty
yeah,
life, 100%, dude, show me anyone with a shitty life and let me analyze their life. I guarantee you I'll show you a person with shitty habits. Every single time.
yeah, then
Dude, I don't know a single person, not one that I've ever met that wakes up, takes their shower, goes to the gym, eats their breakfast, goes and works a job, busts their fucking ass, that is like just completely busted up and broke and just miserable. And none of them, never. They're always at least doing decent. I was like, it's always they got these most busted up lifestyle habits. I'm like, well, dude, it's no wonder why you are where you are in life. I was like, I could tell
yeah,
you
and I mean,
exactly why you are there.
and especially in the countries that we live in, I mean, you can create a good life for yourself. And of course, your personal health depends on that. If you
Thousand
get
percent.
some kind of chronic disease or a muscle disease, and then still, I think over here in Holland, we have so much put up for that as far as social security, Medicare, and all that kind of stuff. There's no country in the world where you will have a better life than over here. I'm completely convinced with that. Still people bash with the government, and I think 90% of them have no reason to talk at all, especially if they compare their situation to people with the same situation in other countries that don't have that.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, because you get help from every fucking side if you know your way around a little bit. And if you don't know your way around, you go to someone, hey, I don't know my way around. Oh, let me grab your hand and I'll show you the way around where to go to get all your money and this and that and what you got to fill in. So you can sit at home, play PlayStation, and smoke weed all day. And that's what a lot of people do.
Well, trust
And
me,
there's
dude.
a
I
lot
mean,
of people.
we're on our way to doing that. And now, again, I don't follow politics at all, but from what I understand, the people that do over here love Trump. That's one of the things they love about him is that he's trying to end kind of the free handouts. Because I'm not gonna lie, dude, the last 5 years prior to him, it was getting worse and worse to where it's like people are just getting shit for free. And it's mind blowing. What the fuck are they doing? And if it kept going that way, it's obvious. Like people are just going to sit at home play video games. Now, I'm not saying that that's not going to happen, but it does seem like that's his mission, from what I hear, that he's against that crap. So I was like, I guess my whole thing is though, dude, whether it happens or not, I'm like, yeah, but dude, anyone that's getting a free check from the government and playing at home at video games, I'm like, what's their quality of life though? They can't be living high on a hog.
No, the thing I think it's good to have like how do you say that, a social security thing that when you really can't do work, when you can't work, when it's literally you can't because you're missing a leg, so you can't
Thousand
do this.
percent, dude.
Then it's good when there's money so you can do another education to study something else than your own profession, so you can work in a different place or whatever. But I mean, I've been working with people with Down syndrome,
Mhm.
and they were working every day. They were working 40 hours a week on their own
Oh
level
shit.
in a working place, packing stuff, blah blah blah. If they can do it,
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah.
every fucking one can do it.
And hell,
For
dude, the funny
everyone,
thing is with
there's
them,
always something.
with them,
Yeah,
someone with Down syndrome, that's a person I would give a pass. I was like, I have
yeah,
no problem with them getting welfare or help. I have no
yeah.
problem with that. I just
And
don't
what I
like
can
lazy people taking advantage of it.
Yeah. And what I can understand is if you're a woman and you got 3 kids and all of a sudden your husband beats you up and leaves you and you're on your own with 3 young
Yeah.
kids to raise, then of course you can't go work 40 hours a week,
No.
because you got
Daycare, but
toddlers and you got
yeah.
whatever. And I
Yeah.
think for these kind of people who really don't have a dime to spend, that's who the government should stand up for. And I
I agree.
think even Trump with all the so-called Christian values, take care of your brothers and sisters, then a social network is exactly what fits in that theory. So the everyone is on his own, that's not a real Christian thing to do. That's a pretty satanic thing to do. So all the Americans who think they're really Christian but think everyone should take care of his own, they're not that Christian after all.
No, well, we know you and I both know, man.
Personally.
Since we don't,
The
you and
same
I both.
goes the same goes for immigrants, because you all are in fact come from immigrants.
Yeah.
So, and I understand the problems that come out of it, of course I do, but there's other ways to handle it than having ICE deport families or parts of families. It's crazy what's happening, and the stories I hear every now and then. And there's
Mhm.
also criminals being put out of the country. So there's going to be a lot of people happy with Trump as well, because there's some problems that no president has ever handled. And he's handling it like a man, according to a lot of people over there that like him. So they're like, yeah,
I will say
finally.
this because usually I'm on record for saying because I don't vote just because there's a lot of reasons. I was like, I don't follow it enough to even know. I was like, and usually the options that I see, I was like, well, you only have two options and they both suck. So I was like, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll give him this credit, what I'll say, not that I'm not saying what he's doing is good, but the first time in my life, with me not even paying attention, I could say that what the president's actually doing, I'm actually seeing it. Prior to that, I was like, oh, it didn't matter. I didn't notice anything what they're doing. Him, I'm actually hearing about and seeing shit. Always before, like Obama, Clinton, I was like, I didn't see anything. Like it just seemed like everything was
And
the same.
what is it you're seeing right now? What kind of changes?
Well, for example, the tariffs, hell's headbangers are seeing that, and I can't say I'm a fan.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like paying on import shit. I can't say I've seen anybody. I can't say I have seen an immigrant slapped with handcuffs and shipped out of here, but that's what I hear. I hear it's and
yeah,
even in local areas, like, oh, did you hear like down in Cleveland, like they got all shipped. Like I've heard about it, but I can't say
but
have I been in a conversation with a
yeah.
Mexican and they kick in the door and slap cuffs on them? No, I can't say I've seen that.
No, but the tariffs is something you notice, but that's a negative thing for you. But
Yeah,
have you seen any positive things with this president?
no, me, no.
No. Do you know anyone who has?
I'll suspect this. What I do know, I suspect the people that has and that the positive people is the rich. Anyone who's rich, probably tax
Yeah.
cuts. Because it seems like, to
Okay.
be honest
Yeah.
with you, dude, it seems like the only thing that's rigged in this motherfucker is taxes for the rich.
Yeah. 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 And that's the funny thing because he promised the exact opposite. He promised
But
lower
to
gross.
everyone's defense, but to be completely fair, don't take my word for it because I don't follow the shit. I will say
Yeah.
that. So to be completely unbiased, completely fair, down the middle, I'll say it. So I was like, yes, I've noticed things, but like you said, the things I've noticed, yeah, they weren't good for me. I'll say that. But
Yeah.
again, is there any good? I was like, I don't follow it either. So to be completely unbiased, but the shit I have noticed, it's been sucking ass.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's I think we gotta wait and just see what happens, you know. And right now, like I said, I don't mind it that much anymore. I watch it and I laugh about it, you know. It's it's getting kind of predictive at the moment what's happening. And the same goes with the whole Putin thing and what China's probably gonna do with what's that country?
What's
Taiwan.
that? What's it called? Which one?
Yeah, I think it's Taiwan they want for a long time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so China is just watching how is the world responding to the Ukraine thing, and once
Oh,
that's
okay.
done, he's going to take Taiwan because he's planning that for a long time. So
What
yeah,
scumbags runs China? I know that's got to be a shitbag and a half.
Xi,
Okay, how is he an old? Is he an old geezer or is he?
he's a pretty old dude. Yeah, 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 and he's big friends with Putin.
Oh
So
yeah, they're
yeah,
buds, huh?
they're buds. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh-oh.
homeboys. So, but I
Shit.
don't, you know, I there's a lot of Chinese people over here in Holland, and they're
You
hard
know what we gotta
workers,
do,
man.
man? I'll send it out to one of my thumbnail makers.
Yeah.
People have been making thumbnails for my channel for the for my the thumbnail, right? You know what
Hmm.
that is, right? For the videos. People just
Yeah.
fans have been sending them, and I when I use them because it gets more views automatically like that when people send it. Maybe since it's a death by Seth and me, maybe I'll have just like me and you there and like our faces on Putin and who's the other guy? Yun? If somebody
See.
could see, yeah, our faces on them. That people will love that shit because people love the politics talk. Put our face. I'll ask one if they can manage that AI their face on there.
Yeah.
Since that conversation got brought up, but I don't even know what those guys. Dude, I'm not even exaggerating. I literally don't even know what those guys look like.
Oh yeah, I've seen him on the news, you know, and the thing is, you know, China is to me, I've never been there. It looks like a wonderful country to visit one time because I think it's beautiful over there, and all the Chinese people over here are really well known for to be hard workers and really
Yeah,
friendly and polite.
yeah. All the ones I've met, Filipinos. I've worked with a couple of the printing industry.
Yeah,
Actually, I can say this: all the Asians I've ever worked with were always the hardest workers. Always.
yeah, and very polite. The same
Hmm.
goes for Japanese people, you know.
Yeah, 1,000%.
They yeah. So yeah, I hope we never go to war with them.
Well, China, well, that would definitely suck because yeah, they have the largest population and
Yeah.
money
Well,
and everything.
China has the mentality of the Chinese are kind of like, hey, if you don't mind our business, then we don't mind ourselves with your business. You know, you got to respect each other's countries. And what they always do when Europeans go to China, they always start about the human rights and blah 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 blah. And they don't like that. They're like, man, just come here and do the trading shit, you know, and but don't interfere with our internal politics.
Okay.
And the Europeans, they have to learn that a little bit, you know, because they're always with the pointing finger and the morale of the
Well,
world.
it's the
And
same here, dude. It's the same here because, dude, there's people that are. I mean, granted, that's the really ignorant hillbillies. There's people that are. racist, if you want to, yeah, I guess racist would be the right word, or prejudice, or to be a prejudice against Chinese people just because, like, for example, like, no names mentioned, granted, nobody would know the names, but I wouldn't shout them out. I just know assholes that were like, fuck China and the fuck the Chinese because, like, when the coronavirus came out, I'm like, well, dude, even if it was their leader that put it out, I was like, yeah, he's a scumbag, but that doesn't mean all the people there are. Like the people
No,
living there. Like
definitely
I
not.
was like, you're a fucking hillbilly fucking moron. Like, why would you even
Yeah,
think that? That's like if you hate Trump and he does something and they're like, all Americans are scumbags. I'm like, whoa, motherfucker, I ain't got nothing to do with that guy. I never even met him. Like, don't throw me in the same umbrella.
yeah, but that's how it works, and the same
But dude,
goes
that's what
with the
these ignorant Americans are. Dude, I think we're the worst for that. You get these
Russian.
hillbilly ass ignorant Americans, dude. Like that, I trust me, dude. I met once personally. They hate Asians, hate Chinese for those
Yeah,
stupid reasons. I'm like, no, you don't hate them, dude. You hate their governments. That doesn't mean you
yeah.
hate all the people over there. That's stupid as hell.
There's the same people over here as well because whenever America is doing something or when they have a president who's showing his balls, then
Mm.
everyone over here hates America, and it's like, oh, they're only bigots, and they think they're the leaders of the world, and they're the boss of the world, and they stick their nose in everyone's business, blah 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 blah, and I always end up defending Americans. Like, hey man, I know a lot of Americans, and trust me on one thing, most of them aren't even interested in that shit, and they
That's me,
feel
dude. I'm the most
ashamed.
out of loop of all of them. You know, dude.
Yeah,
You
and
know more
then
about our politics than I do.
no, but then I'm always like, hey man, look at our own fucking government and how ashamed we feel about them sometimes, and they have the same fucking thing, and uh, if you meet people from all these countries, then you notice like, hey, we're kind of the same. We're not that
Yeah.
different.
No, dude. I 100%. It's what it is. It's totally what it
Yeah.
is.
And the same goes. I know people from Poland, but also people from Ukraine and Russia, and they're all good people. I know people who live in Tel Aviv, and they're good people. They're not
Yeah.
terrible people because Israel is doing shit in Gaza. Yeah, look at what Hamas is doing towards Israel. You know, if
I mean,
Belgium
me
would have
personally,
done that
yeah. I
to
mean,
Holland,
maybe it's because you take for maybe because you take for granted what you're around most. But I've always taken and always at least they came off to me as better people is just foreigners in general. I was like, if you took to me like who seemed like better people to you of all you met, most Americans or most foreigners? From my experience, I was like, it seems like most foreigners. But again, maybe that's just because I see these people every day, so I've seen the shittiest of the shit, and I haven't
yeah,
met. Maybe I haven't met enough foreigners that were shit. Maybe since I met them and they were in basically my backyard, they were decent enough, successful enough people to come here. So I met the good ones and not the dog shit ones. But from my
yeah.
experience, I was like, dude, it seems like foreigners are nicer, better work ethic, better mindset than I was like than these dumbass Americans. I was like, most people over here are deplorable. I was like, dude, a lot of people over here, dude. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't even know how they fucking get by in life.
That's the same over here. And there's also a whole group that are, completely normal and okay. And the same in
Oh,
America. I mean, I've met a lot of Americans also in bars and people who work in stores, and they're the most friendly people in the world and really polite.
yeah.
Yeah.
Same
So
bullshit. Same bullshit.
same bullshit everywhere, man. And
Yeah.
and and yeah, it doesn't really matter where you're from. I think we got to be kind of lucky that we're born here and not in a country like Nigeria or Ethiopia or
Iran or something like that.
yeah, or Iraq or Syria or some shit like that. And
That's why it's
that's
funny
also
because I've said that on my channel, dude. Like America's not the greatest country in the world, and my point was, I'm like, I'm not saying it's the worst, and I'm not. Maybe it is one of the better or best. I was like, it's not number one. I was like, at the best case scenario, there's other countries, civilized countries that are equal to us. They're not
oh
better
yeah,
or worse. And then people are like, what about Iran? What about Iraq? I'm like, I'm not comparing it to those shitholes, dumbass. I was like, I'm just
no,
saying there's other civilized countries like, yeah,
yeah,
Holland, France, Germany. I was like, I guarantee you, dude, if you knew the language and you could get by, you'd be just fine and you would not notice a goddamn difference. You'd be like, oh, this
yeah.
place is
What,
pretty
what do
fucking
you
sweet.
think? Yeah, what do you think the crime rate is in Iceland?
It's low as fuck. I know that.
Yeah, it's probably around zero, like the
I
like
have
the
heard it's
fucking
super low. I know
temperature.
that.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and as far as I see on TV in Reykjavik and these cities, people have a great living and they all have a good car and a job. And hey, people have a life without any fucking problem, and still they will have problems. They
Yeah,
will have family problems. They will have marriage problems. Everyone has his issues, but yeah, the standards in that country are pretty high.
yeah.
And I think Norway's doing pretty well. Sweden is doing
The only
pretty
thing I heard
well.
bad about Norway, again, word of mouth, never been there, don't know this for a fact, but statistically, I was told or read it that they have the highest or one of the highest suicide rates. Again, not fact, don't know that. It's just something I heard before.
I
Have
haven't
you ever
heard
heard?
it.
Oh, you haven't heard that?
No,
Yeah, I've heard
no.
that. Again, don't know if that's true. Somebody either told me that or I read it somewhere. And I just the
Okay.
first thing I remember when I heard it, I was like, huh. I was like, because I just popped in my mind like mayhem, dead, killing himself, that type of shit. I'm like, oh, maybe. I was like, maybe. I was like, fuck, I don't know.
And why would it be? Did they say why?
Yes, I did hear why. Because they theorized because they have less daylight on average.
That could be. That
I'm
could
almost
be.
positive that was the reason they average less daylight. Yeah,
It could be. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know.
Again, people in the comments, the dog said this. The dog didn't say shit. The dog said he heard this. So if it's
Yeah.
not true, chill the fuck out. You don't need to like get mad. I'm just saying that's what I heard. But
Yeah.
speaking of
Yeah. I
bullshit,
think.
Seth, I'm gonna have to get
I,
going because again, dude, remember I told you like you want to talk about bullshit.
oh yeah.
I got to get going to that. Lindsay had texted me to get going 10 minutes ago. Got to go to
All right.
in-laws because technically today's the Christmas day that we go for the family thing for her place. So, dude,
Ah.
it's like, again, I'd rather much sit here and have a conversation with you because it's funny. You said the exact same thing on the Christmas day. You're like, what? Go to a family's house that I barely ever see of people I got nothing to say. You worded it
Yeah.
like exactly like I would have worded. I'm like, yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, but when I say it to other people, people are like, oh, what a fucking dick. I was like, it's just true. I was like,
Yeah.
it's people I
Yeah.
barely see and then got nothing to say to. I was like, I don't need to be there for 6 hours. And trust me, I'll be
Mm.
there for 6 hours if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
Eight is the norm. Six is on a good day.
I didn't have any obligations this year because I was working all days with Christmas. So and also now and tomorrow I got a late shift, so I can sleep tomorrow morning. So that's good.
But
And
you have to work.
it's
So you
my
have to work tomorrow then.
yeah no tomorrow afternoon around 3. So and
But you
it's
still do work.
flying.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I work tomorrow and then Monday and Tuesday. And then I have a long 5-day weekend because I had to choose like, do you want to work with Christmas or with New Year's? And I
Yeah.
chose to work with Christmas. So at New Year's, I'm here at home with the cats, with all the fireworks and all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Because I like to be at home with New Year's. And
Yeah.
so then, and the funny thing is, old and new is from Wednesday to Thursday, and then I have my free weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now I got like 5 days.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I was working Christmas, so I had an excuse. So when my
Yeah.
mom
I
asked,
worked. I worked all day Christmas as well. I worked all day Christmas as well. But again, today is when I got to do it, which because so I still
yeah,
didn't get out of it. It just got postponed for 2 days. So I'm still getting fucked in the ass.
yeah, well, I'll think about you in a few hours.
All right, Seth. Yeah, and actually, my battery just hit 10%, so I guess it's worked out fine. But
All
keep
right.
me posted on the new band too, dude. And then obviously, if you
Yeah.
need any help with it, like you guys get demo songs, I'll post on the channel. You need any help, if you need label shit, just who to hit up. Like, and whatever you want to do is what do you
That'll
do.
be
But
good. But
even if you just want help with promotion and you deal
yeah,
with a different label, that's fine. But I'll help promote it. We'll talk about it. I'll post track.
no,
Anyway,
you'll
just
you'll be the first one to hear it whenever we have some rehearsal recorded, so you
yeah.
know what direction it's going. So
Yeah, but we'll keep them all
yeah,
in the loop in real time with the
yeah.
channel.
But we'll do the next podcast a bit sooner, and we'll go
Yeah,
through another bunch because I got some cool releases. I didn't have the time to pick them out now, but I'll prepare that for the next one. So
perfect. Sound good.
yeah,
I do. Well, Seth,
bro.
enjoy your evening. You'll be having a better time than me, man.
You never know. You never know.
All right, later, man.
Till next time, brother.
Hey, good talking to you.
You, bye.